So, welcome, friends, to yet another adventure in D&D. This is gonna be a tricky one because we have a very small party, the smallest I've ever had, but it's a party nonetheless. So, let's put on some music and get to dancing.
Yeah, you know what they say. Three is a crowd.
Indeed, and I'm the fourth one in here, so don't mind me. Okay, so everyone, welcome to Gundra, this world of mine. In recent years, here in Gundra, the three of you have been looking for things here and there, whatever. About 50 years ago, most of this map was not known. All that was known was the northern kingdoms over here, to the right side of the map, and the southern kingdoms, which are not even on this map. But if you pay close attention, you can see very here on the very corner of a trail leading off to the side. That was all that was known of this world thus far. So what happened? About 50 years ago, some kingdoms, the western ones, they started sailing even further west and discovering new unsettled lands. And thus they started a colonization effort, which took quite a while to happen. Some 15 years, give or take, into this whole colonization effort, something happened in this world that created a surge of magic that until then was non-existent. Well, not non-existent, but it was very dim. And someone discovered in those lands westward reawakened magic in the world to a much, much larger degree. And thus, people started flocking even more westward to find the source of this magic that is rumored to be in there. Not only are people seeking rumors of magic, but also of powerful artifacts that conquerors have used in the past to attain even higher power. And you have also heard many tales of gods walking this land, of cities floating, and of dragons resurging, which, as everyone as the stories go, dragons went extinct about 1,000 years ago. But suddenly, dragons started being seen again and talked about in the West. And thus far, they have not made their way to the northern kingdoms. So, a gigantic influx of adventurers and settlers and conquerors and pretty much whoever was daring to go to this alien land and unravel its secrets started going over there. So, Ander and Drachdarin, the two of you come from Mythos, which is a kingdom inhabited mostly and mainly by animal races and some other fringe races like Dragonborn, Tieflings, and such other. You have heard tale of how a long time ago, some decades ago actually, a lordling from these lands went west with some other peasants and commoners and upstarts, and how they single-handedly accrued a lot of power in a very short amount of time and revitalized one of the Hunters Guild, the Godslayers Hunters Guild, which was pretty big in name over here in Mythos, but they haven't hunted beasts in here in quite a while because there wasn't any to be hunted. But tales say that to the west there's many beasts to be hunted, and this Hunters Guild is seeking more recruits. In fact, they're even offering people passage if they want to go over there and test their mettle and prove themselves to the guild. And the two of you, hearing both their the Godslayers pitch on how they are looking for young people looking for adventures, and also the rumors that have been resurfacing of magic, dragons, and power to the west, the two of you decided to go. So you left the city, well, the country of Mythos, and sailed from the small port city of Capaya, which I just moved. You sailed all the way up, stopping in the trade post of Ra for a while, where another smaller Hunters Guild branch is set up, and then you kept on sailing, following the little dotted line until you got into the city of Wildhaven, where you made a stop and started seeing just how wild indeed this land to the west is truly. You stopped there for the briefest of moments before keeping on your voyage until you arrived in the city of Redemption, where the big Godslayers Guild is at. Rumored to have been revitalized and revived by that same noble who dabbled so deep into magic that he changed himself beyond recognition and hasn't been seen in the last decade, and their son takes over the guild affairs in the past many years. You, Stormclimb, have been on these lands already for quite a while now, seeking your own objective, as have the two of you, Ender and Drachdarin. All three of you have received, at some point after coming to Redemption, seeking out employment in the Adventurers Guild, who has been hiring people, but with the huge influx of people, they are not, even though they took you in, they don't have any jobs to offer you at the moment, or anything for you to prove yourselves at, or as, or with. And without having much else to go, you kinda roamed the city for a couple weeks, trying to seek something, until all three of you received a message addressed apparently by a Finasire Norewa. Finn told you, Ender, that he knows the ones who did you wrong, and he'll help you find them. He tells you, Drachdarin, that he knows the power you are after and how to attain it. And he tells you, Stormclimb, that he has clues regarding the person you seek. And he will offer all three of you those informations if you meet him in front of his shop, the Bent Intent Arcane Emporium, today at noon. So, naturally, I imagine that the three of you are very curious about this guy's offer and you follow up on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, all three of you make your way to the Bent Intent Emporium in the City of Redemption. So, if you look over to this map, you will see over here where I put a party token. That is where you guys are, in this round tower in the Arcane Quarter in the City of Redemption, where it is kind of odd because this whole place is just filled with towers, all of which you imagine are magicians, wizards towers, and some of which are round, some of which are square, some of which are big and have multiple levels, some of which are shorter and smaller. They come in all shapes and formats in this place here. But the three of you walk up to it and meet over there. So, Ender, you arrive, and shortly after you do, you see a Dragonborn approaching. That would be Drachdarin. So, could you tell us, Ender, what does Drachdarin sees when he looks at you? Can you describe your character's appearance?
Drachdarin sees a white tiger, dark stripes. He has no hair, separate from his fur, and he's looking at his books, going over his studies of all the people he's seen in town so far, and taking notes of behaviors and attitudes that other people had. So he's deeply focused on his books while he's waiting for the arrival of the person he's supposed to meet.
And Ender, you notice this Dragonborn coming up, and Drachdarin, could you describe what Ender sees when he looks at you?
He sees a very tall, 7 foot tall, deep dark blue scaled dragonborn walking up, very confident stride, is adorned in a chainmail that is fitted to his burly form, and he has a large great axe slung over his back, as well as his adventuring gear. He looks ready to go out on adventure whenever. He's not really focusing on people. He's just sort of enjoying his time out in the world, enjoying the sights, the smells, everything around him, looking excited for adventure, if a bit, physically reserved, arms crossed.
And just about the same time the two of you arrive in the Bent Intent Arcane Emporium, you also notice, ducking out of a corner, Stormclimb, the rat. Can you tell us, Stormclimb, what does Ender and Drachdarin sees when you come out?
Sure. So, they at first they don't. How do I put this? So, they see what looks to be a teapot moving on its own, or tea kettle, but then when they look a little bit downwards, they see it's actually a rat that is on its hind legs, just walking like any other bipedal. And this little tiny beast is adorned in a pink knight armor, but it's made out of chainmail, and it is dragging him down. It is quite heavy, but he is soldiering on, doing his best to look strong, but his nose is constantly twitching, trying to pick up scents, as well as just see if he can get a good smell from these two giants. Because he is the size of an actual rat. He just happens to be have the glint of intelligence in his eye, as well as having opposable thumbs.
So, all three of you meet in front of the Bent Intent Arcane Emporium. A tiger, a dragonborn, and a rat arriving here. And just as the three of you stare, look at one another, kind of waiting for just a second to confirm that, like, you guys are here for the same reason as the other ones. To a degree, I imagine that neither of you were expecting anyone else to have been called to come visit Finn, but apparently Finn did invite more people. And just as soon as you guys are looking, trying to decide on what to do or how to react, you do see in front of the door to the Bent Intent suddenly materializing a very tall furbolg, almost as tall as you, Drachdarin, if not about the same height-ish. But he doesn't look as burly as you. He looks actually kind of leaning a little bit on the skinny side. And he just shows up, claps his hand, and says, "Ah, hello. I see you have arrived just as I have requested. Ender, Drachdarin, Stormclimb. I am glad that you have decided to join me." And you guys do notice that there's a very big discrepancy in the way that he pauses when saying your guys' names. And before he continues telling his spiel. I have invited you to come to my tower, to the Bent Intent, to discuss what I have sent you in those letters. I am glad you have taken the time of your day to come meet me and my apprentice. So please, come right in. I'm waiting for you. And he just kind of takes a step to the side and holds his hand out, pointing at the door and kind of just looking at nobody in specific. Just seems to be kind of looking... he has a kind of a 1,000-yard stare. He's looking at nobody in particular.
It's an interesting way to invite people in, but I suppose we're all here for the same thing, are we not? Shall we go inside?
I take a bow as best as I could while I have a giant tea kettle strapped to my back, and I say, "Yes, thank you so much for inviting us. Shall we go in?"
As you say that, Stormclimb, Finn doesn't seem to answer. He just keeps staring at nothing and with his hands outstretched, kind of pointing towards the door.
Can I do an insight check on this guy? I mean, like, it's kind of weird that he's just staring out into space and not staring at this, tiny talking rat.
Stormclimb, when you look at Finn, you kind of feel odd that he's not really looking at you or doesn't seem to be regarding you guys anymore. Make an investigation check. As you start looking from a distance, trying to assess what is up with this guy. So, if you open up your character sheet, you will see that you have skills over there, investigation amongst them, so you can just click the name of the skill. If you click that, it will automatically roll that for you.
Oh no! I
So,
rolled a 2.
So, Stormclimb, as you look at him, he's gigantic, this furball, and not only is he huge compared to you, he's also apparently very rude.
Well, I guess I just don't see anything, but I'm looking at the other two, wondering if they're gonna go.
The large dragonborn just immediately heads for the door and goes to open it up and head inside.
I do my best to keep up.
I nod and follow them.
Alright. So, as soon as the three of you enter the Bent Intent Arcane Emporium, Finn doesn't seem to move or react in any way. He keeps staring at nowhere and just have his hand pointed at the door. Drachdarin, you clasp the doorknob with your gigantic hand, turn it, and pushes the door open. And what you see is the inside of this arcane tower. It's very it's kind of cozy in here, not too gigantic. The only thing you see is well, you actually see a lot of things. You do see what appears to be an owl to a desk immediately to your right that kind of just seems to be hopping up and down on a table. You do see several alchemical flasks and other such things kind of sorted along with scrolls on the back. You do see that there's a wall with some skeletons kind of propped up with name tags here and there, kind of like an anatomy display of these are the bones and whatnot. But despite all those things surrounding you, your focus is drawn immediately to the center of the room, where you see a human woman just collapse on the floor. And you do see this furball, the same one that apparently just welcomed you into this arcane shop. He seems to be kind of down on his, kind of very hunched over, just looking around, kind of desperate. There seems to be this feral look to his eyes as he just turns around and see you, and you recognize it's the same furball, but he looks very distressed. And as he turns to look at the three of you entering in the Emporium. He just seems to gesticulate very, very wildly with his arms, kind of just waving his hands in the air, kind of towards you, and making some unintelligible guttural noises. He kind of just looks at you guys and goes, "Rrr, rrr, rrr."
Is this who we are supposed to be meeting here? Is this some kind of trick?
Can I use Divine Sense? Because there's a collapsed woman on the floor, and a fearful that is just making grunting noises at us, and this is just starting to get weird.
Sure. So tell us about Divine Sense, Stormclimb. What does it do?
I'm glad you asked. So, Divine Sense... So, Divine Sense is the presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type, celestial, fiend, or undead, of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity.
All right.
Yes.
So, as you channel your divine senses to try and decide what the hell is going on in here, you don't really feel anything strange coming from these two, but you can go ahead and make an insight check.
Yay, I'm good at that. Oh no, not again! It rolled a nat 1.
This is
So,
starting out great.
Stormclimb. At first, you just see this furball grunting at you guys, and you're very distressed by this gigantic creature that appeared docile just a moment ago outside the door. Now, here on the inside, he seems completely feral and hostile. It just takes you back, and you're not even able to register. Your mind just kind of stopped processing things for a while.
Yeah, okay, so I guess you just see my hair stand up and I just freeze up. I just can't, I, like Doug says, can't process this situation at all. It's just freaking me.
So, Drachdarin, Ender, is there anything you guys do? You see this.
Is the woman on the ground? Does she look hurt?
From where you are standing, it's kind of hard to say, but make a perception check.
Why?
Wow, you guys!
What is happening?
Oh no.
I am most displeased.
You guys! Come on!
Best adventurers ever.
So, Drachdarin, looking at first, you try to look at the woman that just seems collapsed on the floor, but she's kind of crumpled over. She's not really laying flat on the ground. She looks like she kind of fell to her side and has her back turned to you guys, so it's very hard to see because she's also wearing heavy clothes, on arcanist robes even, which is covering most of her body, so it's very hard to see. And whatever little you could see normally, you can't, because there's a gigantic furball in front of you that just keeps grunting at you guys, kind of waving his hands at you as if he's kind of trying to kind of strike at you from far away. And he kind of seems to hunch over the woman's over the collapsed woman on the floor. You get a sense that he's kind of protective of her and feels threatened by you.
Trying to tell us the woman was attacked.
Ender, you go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, wow, okay, finally.
There we go.
That's something.
So, Ender, as you see the Dragonborn apparently very confused, trying to look for clues, but kind of worried, and the little rat frees up on the side. You, honing in all of your monk training, you decide to take a second, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, you close your eyes to focus for a moment, and when you open your eyes, clarity comes to you as you just look around the room and you see that the woman is collapsed on the ground. The furball seems wild and is on top of her, kind of protecting her from you guys, and you get the sense that something foul happened here, but these two, in some way, are the victims.
Okay.
At this point, Drachdarin has immediately drawn his axe and is just looking around.
like to help, but I'm totally frozen up with fear right now.
I reach out, trying to offer kind of cure with my herbalism kit, and
Alright.
see how he reacts for looking at it.
All right. Ender, go ahead and make a persuasion check. As you, you guys, come on.
Oh
Best check.
my lord. What is happening?
And thus ended the quickest D&D session ever. Ender, as you start to you pull out your herbalism kit and try to inch towards the guy, trying to hold out your hands in a non-threatening pose and inching towards the guy. He just snarls and grunts at you even louder. He seems to lurch forward for a little moment as if he was going to attack you, and you recoil back. Your monk dexterity allowing you to just take a few steps back before he even has a chance to swing at you. And it seems that when he comes back from this lunge, he seems to accidentally step on the woman that is on the floor, and she just grunts like, ugh, ugh. And finally she seems to turn around very slowly. What? What's going on? And she looks dizzy and lost, and is on the floor. And as soon as she starts speaking up, the furball that it keeps on grunting, he just keeps looking at her and hovering around her, not letting you guys approach. And he's just very protective of her, not letting you guys approach at all. But she just keeps trying to stand up and sit down. What happened? As she looks around, she notices Finn acting up weirdly and notices the three of you stopped at the door. It says, "What? Are you the ones that Finn wrote to?"
I believe so. Would you care to tell us what in the world is going on here?
I wait. And she looks around as if some realization had come into her. And as she looks around, she seems to notice something on the ground that none of you guys noticed before. Was a little... appears to be a book that fell to the side near a box. And she just seems to crawl towards the book and go, "Oh no, this should... No. When she crawls towards the book, handling it very gently, she seems to put it on a box that is nearby and closes the box. And she holds it tight to her chest and seems to stand up and turn around and say, "Okay. I'm not sure at all, but I think I have lost my memories. I can't remember much. This thing here did something to us." And she looks to Finn, tries to look at him. "Oh no, what happened to you?" And she just seems to be holding this box in closely to her chest and looking at the furball, who now just keeps on he stops grunting and just approaches her and seems to just hover around her, just looking at her curiously as if expecting something to happen or she to do something. "I don't remember much. This is powerful. Hells, I wish I could remember, but I can't. What happened? We need a healer. Are you any of you healers?
I'm not, but one
have
of
no
them might be.
I have no skills other than the herbalist kit.
I feel stuck, frozen in fear.
Come again?
I'm still frozen with fear, so I don't know if I've, shaken out of it. Just
Yeah, by now you have. By now you, as soon as she started standing up, you recovered your senses and looked around the whole situation, and now you're processing things again, pretty much.
So then I look up to her and I say, I believe I am of some assistance, though my healing abilities are only good for, simple aid. But I'll take a look and see what I can do. So, I guess I'll do a medicine check, or is that an Arcana check since it's dealing with, I'm guessing, some sort of magical affliction?
Whichever one you prefer in this case. It can either be medicine or arcana.
I'll do medicine.
Before you do, Drachdarin, and are any of you guys proficient with medicine?
Absolutely
Yes.
not.
Are you proficient, Ender?
Yes.
Okay. So you can go ahead and make a medicine check as well as the two of you try to decide what has come over these two poor people here. So go ahead and roll a medicine check, the two of you.
Am I able to use my herbalism kit for this, or is that?
No, it's just a medicine check. In your character sheet, in the skills, there should be medicine.
Oh yeah, of course. I just didn't know if I was able to use a tool with this.
No. Using the tool would have been the same thing actually. So.
Okay, my bad.
Would not have changed the result of the roll anyway.
Okay, let's see if I'll do better. Not so much. 7.
You guys!
What is happening?
There's something wrong with this dice.
Oh my god, you're so unlucky.
Wow, the amount of...
I'm going to put my entire computer in a dice jail.
Yeah, please do. Okay, someone keep up tally with... It's been an hour. We have rolled 5 natural ones and 8 tests we have done thus far.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Ender, this is weird. It's kinda out of your depth right now with what might be affecting these people here. You're kinda bamboozled, really. You try to you keep offering hints like, oh, it could be this, it could be that, maybe it's this plant, maybe it's this poison, maybe it's this natural world thing that infected or somehow affected them. But you, Stormclimb, it takes you a while, quite a long while, for you to try and decide what's come up with them. And just as the two of you are coming back and forth with ideas, you offhandedly mention like some spells that you know about, some very low level spells, but one of them that you mention eventually seems to light up something in this woman's face as she says, wait, did you say curse? No, I don't think it was a curse, but I remember hearing something about this. I don't know exactly what happened, but I think Finn has been feeble-minded. How even?
That explains why he seems to only talk in grunts.
Yeah, this is an unheard of level of mental attack. Only really powerful arcanists should be able to do this, but neither of us can do that. Whatever is in this book is not good.
What I find curious is, why are you feeble-minded? It seems that only your memories are...
I don't know what happened. I don't remember. But I really don't remember. We need to find a healer. There's one in town. I remember that, but I don't remember where or whom. Oh, can you help us, please?
The Dragonborn is going to turn around and go to the door and look outside and see if there's anyone passing by, any guards or citizens of this area.
As you walk out of the store, you do see that the Finn is still there, kind of smiling brightly and with his hand held out, pointing towards the door, completely unaware of everything that's going on. And as you look around, this tower is kind of in a sort of an isolated way in the city, so there's no guards coming in or out of this position, and because of the time of day, you imagine most people are way far over to the kind of hub of the town where the taverns and the inns are, and you're kind of a little bit too far from there.
All right. It'll come back inside and say, well, looks like we have a bit of a walk then. Yeah, we should probably head to the center of town. If there's a healer, we'll probably be able to find guidance here. Can he walk on his own? Is he safe to go outside?
She looks at Finn. She says, Finn? Finn's here? Are you alright? Can you come? And he just seems to look at her and nod, kind of furrowing his brows and nodding, as if he didn't really understand, but like exactly what she meant, but he seems to be agreeing with her regardless. And she's like, I think we'll be okay. I'll take care of him. Let's go. She holds the book in one hand, grabs Finn by the hand and starts and just waits to follow you if you're leaving the store.
I say, hold tight, your ladyship. We will find your healer and make sure to right what has been wrong here. And then I guess I turn around and head outside.
The Dragonborn is heading outside and immediately starting to lead toward the center of town.
I fall behind with my notebook in one hand. I'm still observing, but taking notes, like loosely taking notes without even looking at the notebook.
Alright. So, Ender, you are able to notice that as you're kind of hanging back, just letting people do the talking, you do pay close attention to the interior of the store before you leave, looking for anything of worth, and you see that the owl that had been hopping up and down when you guys came into the store seems to have calmed down and just watches the five of you leave. And once you do leave, Drachdarin, you start leading people towards the center of town to find a healer, right?
Yep, I'm going to lead the group, and if I see anyone who looks like they know, where a healer might be, a guard or cleric or something, I will immediately stop them and ask for directions.
Sure.
Could I help with this? I want to try and sniff out for any like herbs or incense, things that healers or temples that would have clerics and such. So it'd be easier for me to sniff at those out that are elements of those things.
All right. So with Stormclimb sniffing around as you guys start to make your way towards the center of town, you don't even need to really leave the main thoroughfare before you notice, just as you're arriving, you stop in front of a church that you had seen many times before in passing, but you never really paid much attention to it. And Stormclimb, you feel drawn to this church, and as the party is about to keep going to go for the tavern and the inn on the just on the other side of the road, you stop and look at this church. This temple built to Gaffador, the goddess of the hunt, and nature and creatures and such others, and you feel a kinship with Gaffador, and you remember, Stormclimb, the blessing that she gave you. And something at that moment just seems to draw you towards this church, and you feel like the aid you are needing and seeking will be here inside.
Okay, I squeak up to my compatriots and say, "Every mice, wait for a moment. There's a church right here. I feel a calling to it. Perhaps there is a healer inside."
I suppose perhaps, yes, let's check if our small friend believes so. Let's go inside. And the Dragonborn will walk right up and push the door open very brazenly, probably harder than he should.
Thank you.
Alright, so
And yeah, I go inside.
And follow them.
as soon as you start heading inside the church, the human seems to follow you guys, dragging Finn along as she is also holding the box with the book under one of her arms. And they follow you into this church, and as soon as you enter, you see it's empty, the church, and except for a man in the very far back, a red-skinned man with horns and hair and beard that seems to be wearing the robes of a priest, and he just looks at all five of you and says, "Oh, hello, my children. Are you in need of aid?"
We need a healer of your caliber, I believe. We have come upon a furbolg who needs some assistance. If you would not mind helping us, he is quite out of it.
Yes, his mind has been rendered asunder with the feebleness.
"Oh, is that so?" And he seems to approach, and as he starts approaching Finn, Finn's kind of backs away, like you have seen him do when you guys came into the store for the first time, or rather not the store, the hell is the name of the thing?
Sure.
Into the tower. Yes.
Tower.
So he seems to reel back just like he did, and this time around, the human, she kind of pats him and says, "It's okay, Finn. He'll take good care of you. He's a friend. All of us are friends here. Don't worry, you're safe." And he's...
Good.
Yes?
Could I make could I assist this with an animal handling check?
There's no need really. Just as he looks at her, Finn seems to nod. Like the same way he did before, just furrows his brows and nods, as if he's not fully understanding, but the sound of her voice seems to suit him in a way. And then the priest comes close and starts examining him, putting his hands on his head and kind of examining his eyes, measuring his temperature and doing all sorts of surface level physical examinations before he thinks for a moment and says, it's been quite a while since I last seen someone affected by this. I think your friend here has been indeed affected by the feeble-minded curse. I never seen that, not in these lands at least. And the human shit says, I also lost my memory. I don't remember anything that happened. Then he looks at her. Is that so? He seems to ponder for a moment. Well, there is... I can help you, yes, but this curse is very powerful. I'll need material components to do this, but sadly I have none.
What is it
What
that
is it
you
that you-
require? They ask in tandem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the two of you ask at the same time, and he looks back at you, noticing you again, and he's like, well, this requires diamond dust, a hefty amount of diamond dust. Several.
That's quite expensive, indeed.
Yeah, I would say about a good half a pound of diamond dust should be worth around some 200 gold pieces worth of diamond dust.
I see. That's a lot more than what I can carry.
I also
we
don't think...
contain that
Do we
much.
have diamonds?
I don't think you do, no. So, as you guys kind of look at one another, trying to decide if you do or do not have diamonds, the human she says, is that a common material component? Maybe there's some at our tower. And she seems to look at you and says, could you... sorry to bother you any further, but could you please fetch it for us?
Not a problem. We will
Not a problem.
go
That's a
look.
good idea.
I'm really sorry, I cannot remember where it is in the tower, but I really don't know where it is.
We will find it. Just give us time.
Alright.
Do you happen to have any keys on you? Diamond does sound... It's... The father just mentioned it's very valuable, so you might have it locked away somewhere.
She starts patting herself around to see. No, I do not have any keys, and I feel like if we were to lock something, we would lock it with spells. But I really don't remember if there's anything. There might be some spell to lock it or protect it from robbers, but I really don't remember. I don't even know if there is or isn't.
Well, either way about it, don't you worry. We will find it. Yes, friends? Yes?
Sure. We'll try our best.
and the Dragonborn is already power walking his way back to the door.
So, as soon
Before
as...
leaving, I asked the priest if there's any kind of common literature from the church that I could take with me.
Common literature?
Yeah, like a book or text that it's given to people in town.
He thinks for a moment and says, well, there's the preaches of Our Lady Gaffador, if you are ever interested in hearing more about her and her blessings. I can surely indulge you in it and tell you a little bit more and share some scriptures. But I believe that can wait until the big guy here is healed. I'll make some preparations for the cure.
That's okay.
I'll
head towards the door.
Okay. I'll be here waiting for you and the material components. Now let's see. And he turns to the furbolg, who is seems very lost. Like he has absolutely no idea what's going on. He looks like a dog that is being brought to the veterinary and is just unsure of anything. And the human, just looks at the three of you and says, well, thank you so very much. I don't even know how to thank you. But I will find a way. Thank you so very much.
Yes, we shall be back soon. And I guess I start scampering to the door, waiting for somebody to open it for me, because I'm pretty sure the giant door is closed.
Drachdarin starts power walking towards the door, extending both of his hands and kind of just pushing the door outwards, and they open very unceremoniously as he just struts into the street, and the two of you, Ender and Stormclimb, start following behind and start making your way.
Arriving.
I received an invite for gather some information on people that did wrong to my tribe. That's why I'm here.
Your tribe? Where?
Sorry.
No, please go ahead, small one. I would love to hear your story.
Well, as for me, there's not much to say. I'm just trying to find a certain someone. He is very dear to me, but for the most part, I am just here for the sense of adventure.
That is admirable. I can agree with this. Now, the tribe,
why
I
are you
guess
here?
Oh, well, adventure, mostly. He had been... let's just say he has knowledge of certain items and pathways which I seek. And, it's just most off-putting that we discover him in such a fashion. I too am an adventurer. I have traveled quite far, and I will not let the silly curse of magic or feeble-mindedness get in my way of my objective.
That's what I think so. Because I never seen magic that affects the mind in this way. This is new to me, and I'm very curious about it. I really want to know more. So, yeah, this has been one of my first adventures since I left the monastery, and it's already exciting. The name is Ender, by the way. Nice to meet you. Big one,
Lovely
little.
to meet you. My name is Drachdarin. You can call me Drach for short if you want, or the full name. And what about you, small one? Is that the teacup? Is that the tea kettle on your back?
Yes, it is very much what you see, a tea kettle. I use it to hold myself as well as serving as my little home. It helps protect me against the predators whenever I'm exploring out in the wild. I am a rat after all. Oh, right. All of you did say your name, so my name is Stormclimb. As you can see, my fur is very gray, like a storm cloud.
Well, it's interesting to make your acquaintance. I'm sure we will all get along greatly. Where did you where did you say you were from? Your tribe?
My tribe, the Tiger Folk, we were used to live as merchants, but suddenly just got attacked by I don't know who. I was so little. My mom did her best to save me, and I can barely remember who attacked us back then. But all I know is that ever since I was left at the monastery, I never saw another tiger folk again.
Interesting. That is very heartfelt.
It must be tough being in the only species of your kind. You have not found any other?
My internet cut off.
What did you say again? Stormclimb, you kind of cut out a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. I said, that must be very tough for you, to be perhaps the only one of your kind left. Have you not found any others amongst your travel?
No, I have not, and I don't have much hope on finding. But we'll see. Who knows?
So,
Thank you for being on at home.
as you guys finally make each other's acquaintances and arrive back at the tower, you see just the remainder of Finn still there, just pointing into the door with his hand outstretched, before suddenly he just disappears in midair.
Ah, illusions, then, I am supposing. I guess that would make sense if he is of the magical sort. Shall we begin our thorough investigation? I have never had the opportunity to turn over a wizard's tower before, so this is very different for me.
Let's go. Let's use our high difference as an advantage to search every single part of this tower.
And right on inside the Dragonborn will go and immediately begin rummaging any desk or higher shelf that he can find.
Alright, so as soon as you guys enter the tower, you see that it's pretty much kind of how you left it, except that without a feral furbolg and a collapsed human lady. Everything is exactly like how you remember. It's the circular tower, kind of cozy, a desk immediately to your right as soon as you enter the door, with some scrolls sprawled on top of it, an owl that seems perched on top of a chair, some flower pots in the very back, and on the walls some skeletons that kind of seem to be just posing, or have been posed rather, in a very anatomical fashion, like for studies, with some name tags here and there. And in the very back, a staircase that seems to lead upstairs. And I think that's it for the tower. So, as you guys come inside, what are you doing?
I'm very intrigued by the owl. Is it sentient? I mean, is it looking at us as we move around?
As you come inside, yes, the owl does seems to it kind of is it's kind of just there, but then as soon as you enter, it seems to perk up, it extends its neck a little bit and looks towards you, and seems to kind of keep just moving its head in a circle back and forth, just looking at you guys as you enter, and doesn't seem to do anything aside from just observe you.
Can I check if there's any kind of magic or spell bound to it?
To what?
To the owl.
Sure. You go around the desk, filled with papers and scrolls, and you approach the owl. Make an Arcana check, Ender.
Wow.
There's the rules.
Aha, finally. So as soon as you check the owl, it just seems to kind of recoil a little bit back as you approach, trying to scrutinize it. There seems to be something odd about this owl. You would say that it's hard to pinpoint really, but there does seems to be something arcane about it. Being that you're not well versed in the arcane arts, it's really hard to tell what even could be up with this owl, but it does seems to have magical influences about it.
Okay, so I'm not warn everyone else about it. I just keep it for now. So as we search the tower, I can use this later if needed.
Alright, so are you guys looking over on this floor for things?
Digging through shelves and drawers and just looking for material pouches or boxes for materials.
Okay, so I would like everyone to go ahead and make an investigation check.
7. It's better than 1.
Much better. Oh, look at that. So, Ender, you start, as you are on the desk, you kind of start looking over all of these papers in here, and you do see that all of these things are some sort of arcane formula of some kind, and you do see that pretty much everything here in this desk seems enchanted in some way. The quill and ink seems enchanted. The paper, those things have been written on, seems enchanted. All the little flasks and vials on the table are enchanted in some way, and as you look around, there's all sorts of also material components in the desks that can be used for magic, and you'll find a lot of stuff. And so do you, Drachdarin, also poring over the desks to look over all those things to see if there is anything of noteworthy here. You do find more of those, all things magical. The two of you, in fact, find a potion of healing that kind of just seems to be tucked in there. Apparently just for a reserve. Hard to say really why it's even there. It's normally not found in just a studious workshop, more so in like a herbalist or an apothecary, but it is there in any case. And along with many other things, You, however, Stormclimb, you do find a thing here and there, but it takes you a much, much longer time to find those things because everything seems to be kept above the desks, which you have a hard time getting up to and then rummaging through.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, as you guys are kind of fumbling with all those things in the desks, the owl seems to see you guys, watch you guys very attentively, and as soon as you pick the first item in your hands, and seems to keep it in your hands for a little while longer, the owl suddenly starts saying, "Who are you? Who are you? Are you stealers? Are you robbers? Oh, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna be so sorry, so sorry. Just wait until they come back. Come on, get at them, Spindly Billy, get at them. They're robbers. Don't let them go."
And now there's a talking owl. Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. I haven't even had breakfast. This is a lot for the morning.
And as soon as the owl seems to speak all of this very fast at you guys, you do look back to see movement out of the corner of your eyes, and you do see one of the skeletons that kind of been in display for anatomical purposes seems to kind of come to life and starts moving out of its own. Apparently intent on protecting the shop from robbers such as you guys.
We are not robbing. We are trying to help your wizard friend. No skeletons, really? Is that what? Okay. And he's drawing his great axe immediately and holding it down to his side in a ready position.
As soon as you say this, Drachdarin, the owl says, "Then what is the password? What is the password? Tell me the password. Tell me the password, and I'll let you go. I'll let you go."
Oh.
Okay.
You see,
I try to look at the scrolls on the table to see if anything resembles a keyword or a password or something like that.
All right,
While they're
so
all talking.
I would like everyone to go ahead as you see this skeleton coming towards you. To go ahead and roll for initiative.
oh no!
I try to check the table before I come.
Sure.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Let's see, where do we go for that?
In your character sheet, in the middle, beside your hit points and your armor class, there should be initiative. And don't worry, I'll be putting those things right up. I just need to throw in some battle music.
Level 1. Level 1.
You know it. So, we have Drachdarin, we have Stormclimb, and we have Ender in the initiative. And on top of that, we also have the skeleton Spindly Billy.
It's a cute name for something that I am absolutely not okay with.
We do not wish to fight, but I will not back down. Just wait till you see the might of a cornered rat.
Oh, we will be seeing that. What am I looking for? Yeah, character sheets. Thank you. So, Drachdarin, you look back just as you draw your weapon. You see this skeleton that seems to have just come to life, jump down out of the table where it was exposed, and it seems to pick a sword that was on the wall, kind of along with the exposition. And he just draws at it and seems to be clattering its teeth as it looks at you very menacingly, and apparently trying to protect this tower from, well, robbers. So, Drachdarin, what are you doing?
I am going to immediately move up to it and two-hand great axe slash the hell out of it.
All right.
I hate skeletons.
So I would like to ask you before you go and do anything to make a wisdom saving throw.
What?
Is that just... Oh no.
Alright. So as soon as you see Spindly Billy coming your way, Drachdarin, you feel your legs are starting to shake for a moment, and you start sweating profusely. This chill come down your spine, and you hype yourself up like, oh, come on, I can do this.
It's not that bad. It's just one skeleton. It's not that bad.
So
Scary skeleton.
you go walk towards it and attack it. Is that what you're doing?
I am going to just take a big swing at it.
Sure. So you can move your token close to the skeleton and then roll for attack. As you tentatively start inching towards it with your great axe, kind of just holding it, trying to aim for the skeleton before swinging at it to try and break it in some way. So we need an attack roll. There you go. So, the two of you, Stormclimb and Ender, you see Drachdarin running towards this skeleton with putting behind the swing such a might that you hear a lot of bones crunching as soon as he hits it with his axe. And you just see several ribs flying and scattering across the walls as he just hits this skeleton that kind of just lurches to the side and just goes, "Yow! That hurt!" As it kind of bends to the side in a very odd angle, and the creature does not look good. It looks very cracked, barely standing even. So is that your turn, Drachdarin?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think there's anything else that I can do right now.
Alright. So, as you finish your turn, the owl keeps jumping up and down and screaming at the rest of you, "You are not giving me the password! You're not giving me the password! Get them! Lanky Frankie, come! And you see another skeleton seems to climb down out of the table to try and get at you as well.
We need to have a word with this wizard about the name of his things.
Yes.
Oh, this one rolled very bad for initiative.
Thank goodness.
So, that's what that was the name of the thing. That's what the owl does. Next up, Stormclimb.
Okay, so could I quickly talk to the bird as a free action?
Sure, what do you say?
I say, "Is the password 1?"
Make a deception check.
Oh my god, yes.
Why?
If you deceive this bird, I'm going to
Yeah.
freak out.
10, okay.
The bird looks at you and says, "No, that's not the password. That's not the password. That's not the password. Get them, Spindly Billy. Thank you, Frankie. Get them. They're robbers." And it just seems to be jumping up and down. It doesn't seem convinced by password 1.
Okay, let's see. Each block is 5 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I only got a movement of 10, so I'm going to run up, I guess. And I'll not close to anybody, so I guess I'll use my javelin to throw at them.
Okay.
Spindly Billy.
Sure. Make an attack roll.
Okay.
So, Drachdarin, you kind of just try to hold your ground there for a moment as you see this tiny rat jumping off the table and kind of running on all fours on the ground before he stops, plucks a toothpick of a javelin, and as he launches it, the two of you, Ender and Drachdarin, you see what appears to be some sort of apparition of sorts, as if something else appeared around Stormclimb to empower him as he releases this javelin with a mighty power that he would not expect a rat that size to have. And just as you release it, Stormclimb, it flies, entering one of Spindly Billy's eye sockets, and seems to make a crack on the inside. Just as he kind of lurches back with the impact, and then he looks back at you and says, "Ow, that hurt! Oh no, I have a rattle!" And he shakes his head, and you can hear your javelin rattling on the inside of his skull.
Gross! Well, that's the first time I've ever seen my weapons do that.
And as that's the end of your turn, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
Spindly Billy is gonna look at you, Drachdarin. "Oh, robbers are not allowed to leave with anything," and he's gonna try and attack you. So that's gonna be that should not have been an advantage. So he swings at you with his short sword, Drachdarin, and hits, dealing you 8 points of piercing damage. As he just is still kind of half on the table, half not really on the table. He slashes at you and seems to cut across your arm very deeply, and you all just see some dragonborn blood splattering on the floor of this Arcanist tower as he kind of lunges back, trying to regain its balance, missing several spines and ribs. He goes, "Look at you, bleeding. We can't take them." And that's gonna be.
Did you say 3 points of damage?
8 points.
8, sorry. Yeah.
Which is a very hefty hit. They should not be dealing this much damage.
That hurt a lot. Alright, you have to die now.
And Stormclimb and Ender, as you look at Drachdarin, he seems bloodied.
Yeah.
But that's what Spindly Billy does. Next up, Ender, what are you doing?
I have to move around the table if I try to get closer, right?
You can hop on top of the table.
Can I?
Yeah. It's not like an impossible parkour challenge to just hop around this table and get to the skeletons.
Okay, let me check my abilities. Just a second.
Crazy monk parkour shit.
Yeah, it's going to happen, I guess. No, I'm 5 feet short. I can't do much. Let me see.
I believe you can reach Spindly Billy with your movement.
Can I? I have 30 speed.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I can. Yeah, I can. Okay, that's it. I move towards Spindly Billy, and I martial arts him.
Okay. So you can move your token and make your attack rolls.
Move token. I have the wrong tool. Sorry.
It's okay.
One to this. And attack.
So the two of you just see now Ender running up to this table. He jumps on top of it, kind of flipping around as he does, landing and spinning in place, still recovering his balance as he runs towards the Spindly Billy and throws a punch at it, which just hits the side of its head, which causes it to buckle completely, as you see this unassuming tiger punching this skeleton and completely breaking all of its bones with a single swift strike. And not only so much breaking the bones, but also disconnecting the whole thing, and you now just see a pile of bones scattered to the floor as Spindly Billy is defeated.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, best monk.
Because Monk, Ender, you get the sense that striking at them like you did seems way more effective than trying to cut at them with axes like Drachdarin did, or poking at them like Stormclimb did.
Hey guys, I think they are easily broken down with punches. Let's try it that way, shall we?
That's easy for you to say.
And easy for me to say. Don't worry, I will punch them, small friend.
So...
And I will do what I can to help.
I completely forgot, but Ender, go ahead and make an investigation check as well.
Oh yeah, I also forgot.
8. Before taking off and running, you try to look at the table to see if there was a password, but you get the sense that they wouldn't leave a password so blatantly out in the open, and looking on these papers, none of them seem to have the password you're looking for, so just shake your head, throw the idea away, run towards Spindly Billy and punch at him, breaking him completely. But now, it's Lanky Frankie's turn.
I leave my passwords in the open. What's the problem?
Come again?
I leave my passwords in the open.
Sure. Lanky Frankie, from where he is, he seems to just stand down from the table, getting right in your face, Ender, and he looks at you kind of very intently, or looks, quote unquote, he has no eyes, but his eye sockets are eyeing you very intently as he kind of just jumps down, tries to upswing at you with his short sword. And as he does, you move out of the way just in time for it to completely miss you. And as he's trying to recoil and find his balance, as he looks at you and says, "Oh, you're not gonna get out of here alive, you little robber. We will get you, we will get you." So, Drachdarin.
Drachdarin is going to sheathe his great axe real quick and kind of hold his arm and growl to himself, and then stomp his way around the tiger and just full-on uppercut this stupid skeleton.
Alright, so...
with an unarmed.
Okay. So you walk up to him and go for a punch. Just holding your great axe with one arm, you just walk up to it, and with your free hand you just uppercut at it. So go ahead and make an attack roll. I don't know if you have the unarmed attack roll in your sheet.
Let me not as a weapon.
Yeah, you don't. So it's a D20 plus your proficiency plus your strength, so +7. Don't worry, we'll add that later.
Yeah, is it slash roll to do rolls in this, or is it just roll?
/R. Oh, look at that.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Shoryuken.
So, from where you are, Drachdarin, you just walk up to him and say, what do you say?
I really hate your kind, and I'd prefer if you could just fall to pieces. And he's not very good with one-liners. He's just going to punch the shit out.
So as you deliver a one-liner, you just see Lanky Frankie going like, "What?" Before he bursts and explodes into several pieces of bone that just kind of fly around the room, falling all over the place. Completely destroyed now. And
Much better.
Awesome.
the skull kind of flies behind the desk, and the leg bones fall on top of the flower pots. And as you look around the room, the three of you, the owl that's on the chair just keeps hopping up and down and say, "Oh, you robbers, you shouldn't have done that. You should not have done that. Come on, Ling Robin, Tin Tim, they're robbing us."
Will somebody please guess the password?
So, two more Skeleboys joined the fray.
Because otherwise I'm going to keep on guessing password with the other password. I'm going to keep on guessing password 3, 4, 5.
So...
I highly doubt that is what it is.
I had no idea if I thought it was on the table.
So the two of them rolled very high initiatives, which is bad because they go before Drachdarin, who already had the turn. So, Stormclimb, what are you doing?
Okay, so it's similar way, so I'm going to... Everybody's fine. So, okay, I'm just going to use my rapier, and I'm going to try to... How should I put this? I guess for a brief moment I drop my tea kettle and crawl up the skeleton and try to stab up at its head.
Sure. So you quickly climb the skeleton holding your tiny rapier in your mouth, and when you get up to a weak point, you pick out with your hand and try to stab at him, Shadow of Colossus style. Make an attack roll.
Yeah. I rolled a 21. Yeah. And I stab right at him. Up underneath his head, or wherever he said it was.
Sure. And just as you do, you feel your rapier get caught in somewhere on the inside of this creature's neck, and as you kind of try to pull it out, it seems kind of stuck. And when you try to yank it by twisting it, you seem to disconnect the head from the rest of the body completely, and the head of Tim just kind of flies across the room, going like, "But why?" Falling behind Drachdarin as the rest of the skeleton just crumbles into bones on the floor, and you land gracefully on the ground.
Yeah, and I do that Zorro thing where I finesse my rapier in the air before getting ready to... Oh, and let's see, it's still my turn, so I guess I'll just... I'll run up to, and yep, that's pretty much my turn. Yep.
Sure. So as soon as you completely debone this skeleton, you run up to beside the tiger. Now the three of you just watch across the room as Ling Robin seems to kind of just be shuffling on the wall where he was set up. He seems to go for a short sword, but as he notices all three of you are kind of far away, he now leans to the other side to reach for a short bow that is hanging on the wall. But, Ender, what are you doing?
What I am doing? I don't know. That's 40 feet. Wait, no. I can attack him. This is 30 feet.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, if you can't reach him, you could always just throw me at him.
Oh, that's true. Do you prefer me to do that? Because you're gonna go through an attack first.
I guess you'll just have to ask me. So,
Hey,
I guess
Stormclimb, how do you feel like flying a little bit today?
as long as I do it awesomely with grace, throw me.
Okay, so I throw Stormclimb at Ling Robin.
Alright, how do I handle this? So, on your character sheet, you will find you have on the left hand side all your attributes. Make a dexterity check by clicking the dexterity beside your name. Oh, look at you!
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So you pick up Stormclimb on the ground. He's very tiny. He fits on your hand, and he feels a little heavy, like you're holding like a full a concrete brick, and it feels hefty in your hand as you pick up Stormclimb, and you try to look at Ling Robin and aim at this skeleton, and you just fling Stormclimb, who flies across the room towards Ling Robin. So, Stormclimb, as you're flying your way, you try your best to time the strike of your weapon with the with the moment you're gonna arrive at the creature. So make an attack roll with advantage.
Okay, cool. And I'm doing it while spinning in the air.
On the top of your sheet, there should be some buttons. One of them says advantage.
Yes, I found it.
So toggle that and make an attack roll. Oh, look at you.
Here's the rolls. That's what we were missing. Combat.
Yeah, combat.
Yeah.
So Stormclimb, you kind of just go, you get launched by this tiger. You go flying in the air, kind of spinning like a little torpedo as you do. And just as you arrive in the creature, you do the same thing. Sorta, you plunge your tiny rapier into Robin's neck spine and just jamming your rapier in there, yanking at it again to separate the two spines that connect his head to his body. And as soon as you do, he also completely crumbles into pieces on the ground. As you still have some momentum to kind of jump against the wall and kind of quickly scamper your way down to the ground before taking damage from being launched against a wall.
Nice.
And as you do, also destroy Ling Robin. The room falls quiet except for the jumping owl that keeps hopping up and down on the chair and just saying, "Oh, you guys are robbers, you're taking everything we have, why are you doing this? Just you wait until Finn comes back, he'll get you. And he just keeps yelling at you guys, but he doesn't seem to be doing anything, just seems to be hopping up and down on the chair. And
First of all, we haven't even taken anything.
And he doesn't... all those skeletons that were kind of exposed on the walls seem... these four were all there was. And you guys have destroyed them, and there are no more skeletons to call. So the owl seems to be out of backups. And it's just hopping up and down and keeps screaming at you guys that you're robbers here to take things. But for all intents and purposes, combat is over.
That was awesome.
That hurt a
Yeah.
lot.
I'm sorry.
So, can we take a short rest to, or I guess I could just heal up. So
I would love healing. That would be great. That sword hurt a lot.
Can I use?
little bit of power, so it's not. Oh, were you saying something?
Can I use this time to try to talk to the owl and explain the situation?
Sure. So, Ender, you approach the owl, who's still hopping up and down very frantically, looking at you guys like, oh, you're robbers, what are you doing? And you explain the situation to the owl, who seems to, every few words that you say, the owl seems to interrupt you as it keeps screaming. It looks less an owl and more a parrot, but still, even though getting interrupted several times throughout your explanation, the owl seems to stop as you finish explaining the whole situation. Make a persuasion roll. Yeah, all you guys were missing was actually combat.
Who knew?
Now we're on track. Fired up and ready to go.
So, as you explain the situation to the owl, it just stops hopping and listening to you and keeps kind of making circles in the air with its head, as its body's completely still and its head just keeps rotating in place. It looks at all three of you and says, material components, you're looking for diamonds. The diamonds are upstairs, but you're not gonna get it. Kaltazan, the Devourer of Hearts, is protecting it. He will never give it to you. He will never give it to you. But you're free to try and take it. But
That's
please
a much
don't.
more serious name.
Yeah, I don't like the name, but I guess we don't have any other choice.
Wait, did he say what the creature is called? Not the name, but I mean, like, what type of creature?
Nope, he just said the name.
Okay, that's not much to go by. So yeah, I guess if we're not gonna take a short rest, I'll just use my ability called Lay on.
Sure. So, Stormclimb,
Let me
you channel in some divine powers on your hands, and as you walk up to the gigantic dragonborn, you lay your hands on him, channeling some positive energy and healing some of Drachdarin's wounds, or rather, the one wound he suffered, healing up 5 hit points.
Yes, that's correct.
That is much better already. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, it is no problem. I will do what I can to support you.
Is that going to leave a scar? Because that could be another good one to add to collection. Anyway, upstairs then, yes?
Yep.
Upstairs we go.
And the owl starts hopping more and more as you guys start making your way upstairs, and says, "Ooh, Galtazan is gonna devour your heart. It's gonna be so fun to watch." And as you guys start making your way upstairs, the owl takes flight, hops from the chair, unfurls its wings, and starts flapping, flying on the inside of the tower, making a couple circles before following you guys upstairs to see what's gonna happen to you. So, yes.
One thing before we go upstairs, I wanted to collect up my my javelin that I threw. So I
Sure.
just wanted to be aware because I wasn't sure if you were just gonna like let me use that again if I didn't announce.
Yeah, it's assumed that every combat you recover your javelins, unless you like throw them on some unrecoverable place.
Gotcha.
Unless they straight up break, or you throw them like into a deep abyss that you have no way to getting them back from. It's always assumed that at the end of combat you recover those things, except for arrows. Arrows are different, but anyway. So you make your way upstairs with the owl following right behind, and I need a marching order. Who is going first?
I should probably be at the front.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I guess that's fine. And if something happens, just If something happens, just throw me at them.
Apparently, that is a very effective technique.
Do you want to be carried up the stairs? Stormclimb?
Well, at the moment, I seem to be quite heavy, so I don't know if I'd be too much of a burden for you all.
I think that we can manage. If
Yeah.
nothing else, I can carry you. And he seemed to do fine throwing you. I mean,
Yeah, I can carry you to throw you just in case of an emergency.
Well, I very much appreciate that. As you can see, I am not able to I'm not able to run as any of you.
yes, I suppose that is the height advantage.
Yeah.
Speaking. All right. And he's going to head to the stairs and wants to kind of cautiously go into the next area, just keeping a close eye out and see if he sees anything preemptively.
All right, so Drachdarin. Sorry. You head upstairs. They're not too long. They take you to the upper floor, and the height of this room is about some 10 feet high. So those are not too long stairs. With Ender following right behind you, carrying Stormclimb on his shoulder, I guess. And the owl just kind of flies around the room until you have gone almost up the stairs, and then it follows you. And once you get to the top floor, you come out into a small corridor on the top floor that just seems to be separating the staircase from the rest of the floor itself. And when you look around the corner, make a perception check. As I also make a perception check. Oh, look at that. I also rolled a 10. As you come around the stairs, you see a very surprising sight, Drachdarin. So much so that you can't help but let out a little gasp of surprise, which announces your presence kinda unwantingly. And you do see, as you come up, you see a dragon apparently guarding some treasure chests.
Oh, that
I did
is...
not expect.
Oh, dear me.
And
What is that?
That is a dragon. Like an actual dragon.
Like the one that we can't find for years and years.
Yep, like the kind of dragons that was rumored to, well, had been extinct for over 1,000 years. Somehow, there's one in this tower right here. And as soon as you enter the room, Drachdarin, this dragon seems to notice you as well, and it turns to you. He kind of is laying down on the ground, but when he notices all four of you, the three of you and the owl coming in, he seems to start standing up, and furrowing his wings a bit. He stands with he's a quadruped, so legs, arms, 4 paws on the floor, wings unfurled, and he looks at you. This deep copper color coating his whole scales as he looks at you, and he's not gigantic for a dragon. He looks very small compared to the tales and stories you have heard for the best part of your life. But even though he's not as big as the tales have told, he's still the size of a full-grown horse. And this dragon looks at all 4 of you as Beaker comes flying into the room and starts speaking in a language that you guys don't understand, except for you, Drachdarin, because I believe you speak Draconic.
I sure do.
As all three of you come up the stair, the owl starts speaking in Draconic. Just saying, "Oh, these intruders, they have come to steal our treasure. They come to steal our master's treasure. They're gonna take everything that thing has, and you two, Galtazan, devour their hearts. Do it, do it." And the dragon, he just looks at the three of you and says, well, still speaking only in Draconic, "Ah, you have come to take my treasures. So, who are you even?"
In Draconic, he will respond and say, actually, this is a gigantic misunderstanding. We are here helping Finn. He's been cursed, and we are here to find spell components so that the priest can heal him. We are not here to fight. We defended ourselves, we are not here to attack you.
He seems to look at you, pondering for quite a while before trying to decide what to do about you. Make a persuasion check, Drachdarin.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
As he looks at you and says, the way his demeanor seems to change, and Ender and Stormclimb, the two of you have no idea what they're saying, all three of them. But by this changing Galtazan's demeanor, it seems like whatever Drachdarin is saying is having a positive effect. You imagine that he's more reasonable than the crazy owl that keeps hopping and jumping around and about. So Galtazan, he looks at you, Drachdarin, and says, "All right, I suppose I could part with some of my treasures, but not for free."
We are only here for diamond dust. That's all we need. What is your price?
There is a forest nearby where treasures have been buried. I heard the tales. Finn tells them to me. I want those treasures. Bring them to me and I'll give you the diamond dust you require.
Are
What's
they
going
just
on?
out in the... Oh, yeah, I will look at the party and say, oh, we are meeting an agreement here. He wants to do a trade, basically. There's treasures in the forest he wants us to go find, and then he will give us the dust. No other problem.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Look,
Can you give us any more details about what this treasure is?
I don't know if the dragon knows common, so he'll just go back to speaking Draconic and ask what, where, and how. Like, what are these treasures? Where are they? Like, are they just out in the open? Like, are they in a tomb or a castle or something? Or, I like having information before I go treasure hunting.
Galtazan the dragon, he just looks at you. Finn didn't tell much of the secrets. All he told me was that it was a magical dagger, encrusted with gems, buried in the secret grove nearby. Apparently it belonged to a fallen hero, and was stored in a little box with other such small trinkets and treasures. I want them. Bring them back. And I'll give you the diamond dust you require.
Excellent, and he will relay that information to the others.
As you do
Sounds
that,
like we have a quest.
as you relay the information to the rest of the party, it would seem like the owl is doing the same. Apparently, the dragon cannot speak common, and the owl translates things to him in Draconic, like what you guys are talking about.
So instead of fighting a dragon, which is not something I am at all interested in, we should probably get searching and quickly for this sacred grove. Who's up for a hike?
Okay, let's climb some trees.
I take out my rapier and just point it in a random direction. I say, "To adventure! Let us grab that treasure!"
I like this one already. All right. We will be back with your dagger soon. Don't go anywhere, okay? And he points at the owl and goes, "And you need to stop screeching. You're giving me a headache."
The owl just looks at you, and for the first time you see the owl making an actual owl sound. It seems to screech and kind of just yell at you, the very loud "hoo" sound that they do, and then it says, "Oh, you robbers! You robbers! You take things! You shouldn't take things. Not without Finn here, or with the password. You didn't give me the password."
It seems like our fists supplemented for that password pretty well, eh? And he's already just walking back down the stairs. He's done with this bird.
Sure.
Oh, I want to try one more thing. I say to the owl, "If you need the password, then why don't you give us the password so we can give you the password?"
The owl looks at you and turns his head kind of quizzically and says, "Oh, I see. Finn told me you would try to do the tricky things. He told me you would try to deceive me, but I'm smarter than you. Finn told me, he taught me. I will not fall for that."
Well, I tried.
So I take a last good look at the dragon, just trying to see his face, see what is his reaction looking at me, and then I follow Drake down tower.
So this dragon, it is unique. You've never seen a creature like this before, and even these dragonborns, like Drachdarin that you see around, they have some similarities, but you get the sense that even Drachdarin is limited to this physical form that he has, and that this dragon Galtazan, even though he's small or wormly, even you feel potential within him, some potential that within years could become to be realized into a power that could be unrivaled. And to see such a creature, such a majestic, powerful creature in its infancy, whereas you only heard stories about it, it fills you with a feeling of both wonder and dread at the same time, as you cannot imagine what the future will be like when Galtazan is too big to fit in this tower. So all three of you start going down, and as you start going down, you see that the owl seems to fly down and seems to have taken an interest to you and follows you around wherever you are going and whatever you are doing. So you guys said you wanted to go and do a short rest?
Sure.
It's probably a good idea to get our strength before we take off, eh?
Sure.
Of course. I shall brew us some tea.
So the way a short rest works now is that if you want, you can roll up a hit die and add that to your temporary hit points. If you want to do that.
I would love to do that.
Alright?
Is there any other options? Or it's either do or do not?
You can choose to do that or to not do that. And on top of that, if you had any abilities that comes back on a short rest, you would recover them. The monk on later levels, he gets key points and he recovers key points on short rests. But currently you don't have any.
Okay. Is there any reason for me to not roll the hit dice?
Not really, no. Actually, the only reason for you to not roll hit die is that you can use it later on a death saving throw with another one of my rules. If it comes down to that,
Okay.
so you can have extra hit points right now, or you can have
Saving throw.
or you can reroll a saving throw if, for whatever reason, later you get brought down to 0.
Let's keep. I'm full health. Let's keep it like this. It's good.
Yeah, I'm full health too, so I'm good.
Okay. If you want, though, these temporary hit points are on top of that.
Yeah, I get that, but I guess if I don't even know if I'm gonna all the way down to 0 hit points,
Okay.
I better save the saving throw.
All right. So later on,
But yeah, I'd like to try and use my teapot, my tea kettle, to brew some tea, if that's okay.
Sure.
Using your homebrew mechanic for tea.
Mm-hmm. Let me find it because I don't know where it is. Just a second. So,
Homebrew brew.
yeah, homebrew brew. So I will explain to you guys later a little bit better how the short rest mechanics work. We didn't have too much time before the game to do that whole explanation, but it's not too complicated, hopefully. But for the homebrew tea, you will find in your character sheet on the left hand side, on the very bottom, you will see your proficiencies and tools. You should have herbalism kit.
Yep, I see it.
So if you click on it, it will ask you which skill you want to use, and you choose wisdom.
Yep, I've got it set for that.
Okay, so go ahead and make a herbalism check.
Okay. Sorry, I accidentally have still on advance.
Yep. I will consider the first one, which is the one to the left, but let's try and be just the tiniest bit mindful of rolling in the future. 15. So you're brewing tea for you and your two companions, Drachdarin and Ender. So
Right.
go ahead and roll a d4, or I can roll it if you want. Okay, there you go.
I rolled a 1.
So Stormclimb, you go and brew some tea. It smells very aromatic, and Ender, Drachdarin, you just feel this smell reaching your nostrils, and you just feel this very herbal smell that reminisces you of the forest and the fields, and of, you know, not being in the city but being out in the fields in a very relaxed position, and it's very calming and soothing and smells nice, very delicious even.
Oh, let's see. I wrote down a list for the types of teas I brewed. Could I tell them what?
Sure, but is it a hot or is it a cold one, by the way?
I don't know. Since I said tea, I'll just go with a hot.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your tea.
Okay, it's a. Hold on, I'm pulling out the list. I just totally. Sorry, I seem to have lost it. You know what? We'll try it next time.
Oh, it's all right. But it's a very good aromatic tea. It seems to fill you guys with some energy, and you feel revitalized and well rested after taking this hour-ish to rest and recover your energies before setting out to explore the wilds surrounding the city of redemption to find, after all, this thing you were looking for. So, as an effect of this tea, you can choose at any time to have another extra bonus action.
Oh,
Only once,
Nice.
though.
this is some good shit.
So, it's not super useful at first level because you guys don't really have much you can do with bonus actions.
Yes.
In theory, what you can do is you can punch twice.
Double punch.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
So if you attack with a punch, then you can punch again with a bonus action, and then you can punch a third time with this extra bonus action you have.
Yeah, and there's also one more effect you, I don't think you mentioned, but if we can't find any use for this extra bonus action, we could instead forfeit the effect to half the next cold damage we suffer.
Yeah. If you suffer cold damage, you can, instead of using this bonus action, you can have that damage. But I don't know that you will be dealing with cold damage in the future, so it shouldn't come up, really. But anyway. So all three of you guys rest. As your guys are resting here at the bottom of the tower, just pondering and talking about the region. There is a map, in fact, in the first floor of the tower, and you'll start looking at the region to see where is the sacred grove, and it happens to be nearby, just crossing the bridge and crossing the bridge out of town, and it's pretty close by, in fact. However, actually no, never mind. The sacred grove is on the other side, behind the Adventurers Guild. However, as you guys are thinking about all this, Ender, you glance back to the desk where there was so many papers and scriptures and other such things, and you remember seeing a healing potion there.
Yeah, I did remember that. I was thinking that I was gonna scream at us again for taking it. But you know what? I wanna grab that potion.
Alright. So you go right ahead and snatch that potion. Drachdarin, you had found one potion as well. Before, I don't know if
Which I'm definitely going to go take as recompense for getting my arm cut.
Sure. And as you start walking out, you do see that some of these skeletons are still, their skulls are still clattering on the ground, like just looking at you and say, "Oh, you think you're so big, but just come down here to my level and you will see." And they just kind of keep jittering at you guys as you walk out.
Sadly, I already am.
And Drachdarin, you can have inspiration. In your character sheet,
Nice.
you will see that there, above your proficiency bonus, there's an inspiration.
Yep.
In fact, I would also say Stormclimb and Ender, make an insight check, just for the hell of it.
Woo. 22.
Ender, at first you don't really pay much mind to these clattering skulls around and about. You, however, Stormclimb, you seem to notice that Drachdarin seems very, very disturbed by these skeletons and seems to be veering way away from them when on your way out of the tower, as you start to make your way towards the sacred grove. on the western side of town. Is there anything the party would like to talk about or discuss as you make your way?
I guess I say to Drac, does the undead disturb you? I can understand. It's very unnatural.
I have experienced a few things in my time that provide me aversion to such creatures. Yes, it's much more to talk about than we have time for right now, but perhaps later over more of that tea I can tell you a bit more. I only hope that we are not go walking directly into another home of the undead.
Well, I'll be sure to give you a heads up if I smell anything nasty.
I appreciate it.
So, the three of you, as you're walking out, as you're approaching the western gate that leaves the city, it seems to lead directly to the Sacred Grove instead of taking the main road down, going through the Adventurers Guild and out into the wilds. You're taking the other exit, which is a much smaller gate that allows you passage to a path of packed earth that kind of just grows more and more natural as you approach the Sacred Grove. And as you're leaving and going through the gate, you do notice, well, not only do you notice, but you feel, as you're approaching the owl kind of flies by very close to you guys and seems to perch on top of your horn, Drachdarin.
What?
Can I help you in some way? Do I look like a tree to you?
I need to make sure you're not robbers. You're taking things away. You need to bring them back. I'm gonna make sure you bring them back. And he kind of just hops up and down on top of your horn, just really intent on making sure that you guys are not common robbers.
Fine, you can come with us, and then when we go talk to your master, you will obviously see what we are doing is not robbing, but assisting. Just please try to keep it down.
The owl just keeps hopping up and down on top of your horn and keeps, ranting and going on about how you guys are robbers. But after some 5 minutes, you kind of just learn how to shut off that part of your brain that is paying attention to the owl and just look ahead as you walk past the last few houses on the outskirts of the city and start making your way into the Sacred Grove itself. So, as you're walking out, I would like everyone to make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's beautiful outside, is it not?
I love the weather this time of the year.
Oh, look, a bird.
So
I'm too focused on that owl.
the three of you. All we needed was for combat to end, and you guys go back to your roles.
Of course.
So, as you guys are walking down, you do notice eventually that the path leads clearly to, into the Sacred Grove, where you found what's it called? The path leads into further and further, and you see a small altar, apparently built to the goddess Gaffador, the lady of the hunt and protector of animals, nature, hunters, life, and whatnot. And as you keep going that way past this altar, you notice that you start to see a lot of quote unquote makeshift graves, but not quite graves, like little memorials for this person, that person, this hero, that hero, all these persons that did something in their lives. And you see in some of them people left lovingly messages for them, like we miss you, and cute things like that. Just people mourning for loved ones, lost loved ones. And on your way even, you do see what appears to be a couple persons just kind of hand in hand walking by you. A couple of tieflings that just walk past you. They don't seem to heed much attention to you, to the both of you. They just keep going as you go the opposite way further into the sacred grove. And eventually you reach at a place that you recognize the descriptions that the dragon Galtazan gave you to this hero of old that had buried some treasures in here. Gwyn, a hero of old. And as you approach, kind of talking amongst yourself, and the owl atop of your head keeps on screaming to all three of you, telling you not to rob more things. You walk up to the monument memorial, kinda, only to see that there's two people in there already who seem to be halfway through finishing up digging a hole, but they seem a little bit busy and kind of don't notice you at first, but then you just hear a very loud whistle, and then all four of you, the owl included, shut up immediately. And when you look around you, you do notice that there are some people that seems to have been following you unbeknownst to you, and they just kind of seem to be holding back, hanging back, holding daggers in their hands, and they all kind of call out to you now and say, "Hey there, you three look mighty lost. Can we assist you with anything, sirs?"
I think we know exactly where we are, actually. I don't see many tour guides approach a party with knives drawn, so presume you're not here to show us around.
Well, I can not show you around, but show you into the next life if you want me to go ahead and do that. That tour is for free. He kind of just flings a dagger between his hands.
I draw my rapier and I say, "Then allow me to show you my teeth!" Or fangs. But, and yeah, that's...
And all of them kind of just look a little bit shocked at first, but by this tiny rat on top of Anders' shoulder that suddenly pulls out a rapier and starts threatening them, and they say, "Ho, look at that! Even their pet has a spunk. I like it. This will be entertaining, boys."
Drachdarin pulls his great axe off his back and kind of sets the blade down so it thunks into the ground and sticks there for a moment and goes, "I really am not in the mood to deal with you right now. I would recommend walking away now."
The tiger takes a deep breath and looks around, sighing, and just wondering how this is gonna go. Not saying a single word.
I whisper to Anne, Sorry, what was your name? Ander?
And
Yeah, I whispered to him, "Be ready to throw me."
okay, little one, don't worry. I got it.
So, as Ender and Stormclimb, the two of you kind of just look around this situation, tension rising, and as these 5 guys are surrounding you, Drachdarin, you use the entirety of your size and your bulk to intimidate these guys and make an intimidation check. Why not?
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Call us the unlucky Clover Gang.
Right? So,
I thought you could. Can you not use strength as your intimidation? Does it have to be charisma?
in this case, I would allow for strength, but you rolled a 2, so.
Yeah. That wouldn't make it too much higher.
You would bring it to a 7, and even then.
Not very intimidating.
As you look at them, they do seem intimidated by your sheer size and bulk, but as they look at the other two and back at you, that even though you do look intimidating, you kind of look a little bit silly with that owl on top of your head, and they feel like they outnumber you and they will take their chances, so they fling their daggers a little bit more and says, "Oh, come on. Indulge us a little bit. Let's see if you have something worthwhile in those pockets of yours." And once again, I would like everyone to go ahead and roll for initiative.
I hope you all brought plenty of coin for funeral arrangements.
Sorry, I missed what. Which creatures are attacking us? What are they race? Their race?
Come again?
What are the race of the creatures that are attacking us?
Oddly enough, they all seem to be human, and they all seem to look alike.
Okay.
Are you all quintuplets? Are you brothers? You all look very similar. Is that a human thing?
They just says, "Ha ha ha! Look, the Darren is one talking down to us like we're filth. Let's show him who filth really is." So, Stormclimb, you rolled a 20.
Yeah. Wait, am I technically mounted on top of Ander?
Yes. Theoretically, you guys are sharing the same
Yes.
space.
Okay, because like if I'm riding on him and if he
moves, you can choose to go along with him or just hop off.
Yeah.
okay,
Your choice, really. But
well I can only move like 2 spaces, so if anything, at this moment, I think there is one guy I could probably hit if I try to take off on my.
yeah. So let me roll for their initiative and put on some more battle songs for you guys to fight bandits to, because it's always fun.
Is Drex's life bar correct? Haven't he been healed?
Come again?
Is Drex's health bar on the right spot there? If not,
Yeah, he didn't heal fully.
okay.
The temporary hit points, they are different. They're different
Oh, yeah.
from your actual hit points, and Stormclimb Lay on Hands ability cannot heal that much.
Okay. And we can see the temporary hit point?
You cannot.
Okay.
But in theory, temporary hit points, they, like I said, they're kind of different in the way that they work. So it doesn't really matters for others to see how well you're doing. But anyway, so that's initiative roll. Stormclimb, you're up first, and on top of Ender's shoulders. What are you doing?
So I've got this racial trait called and since I have advantage on attack rolls if I'm within 5 feet of my ally that isn't incapacitated.
No,
So,
it's the
if
it's the
I-
other way around actually. If the target you are attacking, if one of your allies is close to him, the target, then you get advantage.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed. So I guess I'll just. I'm going to hold my action if that's okay, and I'm just going to wait until Ander moves close to an enemy and attack the closest one.
All right, so you're holding an attack action to attack whoever's come to you, or whoever Ender goes to whenever he moves, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so that's all you're gonna be doing on your turn is attacking when Ender moves, or if someone comes close, I suppose.
Yeah. Sure.
Just to let you know how radiant action works, you will be using your reaction to use this radiant action. So normally,
Okay. I mean,
if there's anything else you would like to use your reaction to, you either do that or you do your radiant action. But anyways, so Stormclimber, just kind of hold on tight to Ender and ready your rapier, just waiting for someone to approach or for Ender to approach someone, which he might take a while to do.
come get bit, you snakes!
And one of them, the guy who's closest, he walks up closer to you with his dagger in hand as he was digging the hole, and is gonna try and shank you, Drach. So he walks up to you. This is wrong. He walks up to you and as he does, he tries to shank at you. I should not have rolled the advantage. He tries and misses. His dagger seems to kind of almost go into you. It's going towards you, but it clings against your armor and gets deflected. And he kind of almost turns his wrist in a natural position as he reels back and look up at you, standing a good 2 feet above him in height. And what are you doing?
Well, first he's going to look at him and say, I did say you didn't want to do this. I warned you. And he's going to grab his great axe in both hands and do an uppercut right into him, scooping the dirt with him and just right into him.
Sure. So you get.
And it's
Oh boy.
Oh, yes!
Wow.
it's
I
so
warned
bad.
you.
You see this guy just coming and trying to slink at you with his dagger, and then you look down at him with a smirk. You just pick up your great axe and go at him, and you destroy this guy pretty much. As you slash at him with your great axe, you chop him in half. The two halves just kind of flying off into the distance, blood just splattering all over the ground on the earth to that side, and all the other bandits, they just kind of reel back in shock as you
Who's next?
destroy their companion. And so you do see that the ones that you can see, actually, they seem to just furrow their brows and start showing their teeth at you as they're angered. Adrenaline is coursing through them, and they're gonna go for it. So, are you doing anything else?
Let's see. I don't think I'm going to move up to. I'm just going to move a little bit this way. And then prepare for the next strikes.
Sure.
I don't think I have any bonus action.
I don't think so either.
Level 1.
Level 1. So that's all you
Unless
do.
you got to do some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, the only one who can do bonus action stuff is... Well, actually, the both of them. You're the only one who cannot, Drach.
Yeah, for now.
For now. So, actually, yeah, it gets a little bit iffy, but anyway. The next one that just saw you kill one of his compatriots by splitting him in half, right from where he is gonna go ahead and release. He pulls up a crossbow. He aims at you and loses a shot. Trying to aim at you as best as he can, and it hits you, and it kind of sinks a couple inches into your armor, but then you just pull it off. It barely even made a scratch against you, and got completely blocked off by your armor. And you just see him looking and cursing and starts reloading his crossbow with another bolt. The next guy that just saw all of this going down, he's gonna run. He would go all the way over to you, but you're far, so he's gonna run over to Ender. And he's gonna try and shank him as well with a dagger. So, Ender, he's gonna try and hit you, and he does. He runs up to you and just slashes at you with his dagger, cutting part of your clothes and making a deep wound across your side, and you take 3 points of damage.
So, now that the guy's in range, can I use my reaction?
Sure.
Yeah, so right as when the enemy slashed at Ander, I jump onto that arm that's slashed out, and then I go and try and stab the guy in the neck with my rapier.
Oh boy, sure. So as soon as he strikes at Ender, you just jump at him, run up his arm, and tries to stab him in the neck with your toothpick of a rapier. So make an attack roll.
11.
11. So as you start running up his arm and try to go to strike at him, he sees the little rat with the rapier running. He kind of just shakes his head like, ugh, and kind of flings you off. You start getting flinged up into the air, but Ender manages to just catch you up and catch you up with his hand and put you back on his shoulder before you get like yeeted into oblivion.
Yeah. Oh, rats!
I got you, little one.
And next up, this other guy who's over here, he also sees you approaching, and he's gonna try and fire against you, Drach, with his light crossbow as well. So he loads up a shot, aims at you, and tries to go for it, and you just hear this whistle as the bolt whizzes by you, and completely missing you, and the owl on top of your head just flapping its wings and yelling at them, "Bandits! Bandits! So many bandits! You brought me to their den! You brought me to your den! You're bandits! Bandits!" It just keeps hopping up and down.
You're being very distracting. Can you stop that?
As you say that, the other guy down here, he also does the same thing. He loads up a bolt and tries to lose against you, and because you're so distracted, you just feel as this bolt sinks deep into your arm, dealing 2 points of piercing damage.
Guess who's next?
And
You're next.
Just as this guy loses this bolt, you see his smirk and says, and he picks another bolt and loads it into his crossbow and starts getting ready to shoot at you again. So what are you doing, Ender?
I should deal with the guy in front of me. Let me check the... I'm gonna first martial arts the guy in front of me.
Okay. So you're gonna use your action to punch at him?
Yeah.
Alright. So go ahead and go for it. Alright.
Alright.
So
Nice.
as this guy, he slashes at you with his dagger and flings up Stormclimb up in the air. You very swiftly, in a single motion, you go with an uppercut, cracking this guy across the jaw, dealing 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And as your fist is raising into the air, you quickly catch Stormclimb and bring him back, put him on your shoulder, and ready yourself for another punch if you would like.
Second punch. Here you go.
Yeah, because you can make another. If you use your action to attack, you can use your bonus action to make another attack. And once again, you uppercut him, and then when the guy is kind of out of balance, you use your other fist to go for his gut, punching him and making him curl over as he just goes, ugh, dealing some more damage onto him. And this guy looks bloodied as he coughs some blood in the ground in front of you. And just as you pick up Stormclimb and bring him back, this fragrant smell of herbs and tea just whizzes past you, and you remember this reinvigorating energy from that. So you can choose one time to have another bonus action and punch again if you would like.
I can move after the third punch, right?
You can move whenever, but
Okay.
you have your.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for the third punch right now. Yeah, I wanna use that extra bonus action.
Okay.
No.
Oh no.
So you feel that energy filling you in, and you just go for the punch. But at this time, the guy has wisened up a little bit, and he just brings up his arm to block your punch. You still hit his arm, and he seems it seems to have hurt, but not as much as a full hit would do to him. And you still have your movement if you would like.
I can move and leave Stormclimb behind, right?
If you choose to move and he chooses to go with you because he's on top of you, he can go along with you.
But he can choose to stay.
Yeah, he
If
can.
he wants to.
He can also choose to stay if he wants.
You can leave me if you need to. I can handle this by myself.
Okay, little one, I'm calling on you.
Actually, just a second. Sorry. Stormclimb, you missed with your attack, but the guy you actually had advantage on that attack because pack tactics.
Oh, okay, cool.
So roll
just wasn't
again.
Sure, if I could use it.
I forgot to mention that. Actually, completely forgot that.
Nope.
But yeah.
7.
Let's move.
Okay.
So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I'm gonna go over here, I guess.
All right.
So I can help block the shot from this guy.
Okay, and Stormclimber, you're going along or you're staying behind?
If I stay behind, that, like, let's see, I wanted to try and prevent the guy from following us and, I don't know, getting an opportunity to attack on Ander if, that's actually possible.
Not really, no. He will have an attack of opportunity regardless.
Let's see. Did you need me to stay behind, Ander?
No, only if you want to deal with him. But then again, I mean, I have a lot of speed. I can come back and pick you up instead of having walking off the battlefield.
Yeah, because I can only move 2 spaces, so if anything, I could stay behind, and then you can do what you need to do.
Yeah, I guess that's a good idea.
Okay, sure, I can stay behind.
So, Ender, as you start moving away, Stormclimb jumps down from you as you go to help Drachdarin deal with the other 3 guys. But as you start to move away, this guy that just shanked you, he tries to go for another attack, because if you leave someone's someone's range, they get to do an attack of opportunity against you guys, and you too get to do an attack of opportunity against them if they ever leave your range.
Okay.
So as you turn to run away, he tries to strike at you with his dagger and misses. You're just too fast, and he didn't expect the rat to kind of just jump and jump at this guy, and as he tries to strike, he just kind of moves back a couple steps to not get shanked in the face by the flying rat, and he misses completely. So, Stormclimb, what are you doing?
Let's see. I'm gonna drop my tea kettle and do that whole run up the giant thing to stab the heck out. So yeah.
Sure.
Let me just roll my rapier attack.
Okay, you can roll for the attack. As you start
Does
running,
16 hit?
As you start running up this guy, it does hit. You
Okay. There's since this isn't this is a flesh and bone creature, I'm pretty sure that doing a little needle-like stab wound won't really hurt him. So what I'd like to happen is, like, the sword starts like glowing, kind of like when I threw the javelin earlier, and the moment I prick into or stab into the enemy, for a moment, like, it almost seems like nothing happens, but then the gap just like widens to what a regular rapier attack would be if a medium-sized creature hit them.
Sure. So, as you run up this guy's leg, body, arm, and then go to stab at him, Ender and Drachdarin, as you two run up to these other 3 guys, and you look back to see if Stormclimb is alright by his own, you just see him stab at this guy, and you see what feels, once again, you see some sort of apparition following his movement, almost like a silhouette behind Stormclimb of a mighty giant, well, not giant, but a mighty humanoid striking at this creature, stabbing at its neck, following the motions that Stormclimb does. And this little stab that he does with his toothpick of a rapier against this creature's neck seems much more potent, as you see the silhouette behind him do the same thing. And suddenly all sorts of arteries pop open in this guy's neck, and you just see a torrent of blood just gushing out of that, as the guy just goes to clasp his neck and starts gurgling and coughing, and then crumbles down to the ground as he bleeds out right there.
That's metal as fuck.
Yes.
Crumble beneath me, for I am the Pete Pallinger.
And as Stormclimb jumps off the crumbling guy, kind of spinning in the air and landing in a heroic pose with his tiny rapier in hand, and looks back at you guys. Drachdarin, you see this tiny rat, and he seems very capable for his size. But then you hold your great axe back in your hands, look at these 3 other guys, and what are you doing?
I am going to run 30 feet.
Which you cannot do because you are encumbered, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I am. Oh no. What does that put my move speed to?
You can only move 20.
20, okay. So, that's... We'll go there. Which, not quite what I wanted to do. Okay, I'm just going to move in front of him instead. And take a big ol' two-handed swing with the great axe.
Sure thing.
God damn it.
So you run up to this guy, and you see this guy. He's kind of reloading his crossbow. And he kind of cowers in fear as he sees you approaching. You just grin, a mighty grin of someone who's about to chop someone up. And you go for this wing. You pull back, and when you go to hit at him, you end up hitting the tree beside you that blocks your swing just barely, and you hear this very loud noise of wood splintering as you dig your great axe several inches deep into the wood, and it gets stuck a little bit in there, and then it takes you a little bit of wiggling it about to remove it, but at this point the guy is aware of you.
Who put this tree here? Damn it. That's all I can do. That's all I can do.
Okay. Just as a reminder, I don't know if I told you guys this, you can use your bonus action to drink potions of healing.
What was that?
You can use your bonus action to drink a potion of healing.
Gotcha.
Anyway, the guy that you just tried to cleave, he puts down his crossbow, he picks up his dagger, and he tries to shank at you. Actually, he's not even gonna pick up his dagger, he's gonna straight up pick a scimitar and try to slash at your chest, Drachdarin. But your bulky form and your tough armor just blocks the attack completely. He slashes at you, but it has no effect, as he just looks up and like, "What kind of monster are you?" And just kind of seems to reel back in fear of this apparently very hefty guy. Next up, this guy over here, seeing the two of you approaching, seeing his friend dealing with the giant, is gonna go ahead and try and shoot at you, Ender. So he loses a bolt at you, which hits.
Oh no, I'm so bad.
As you are walking and you look to the side, you just see this guy say, "Good night." He loses a bolt at you, which hits you square, which hits you kind of in the clavicle, between the shoulder and the neck. Hits you in such a way, with such force, that you kind of spin in place, taking 7 points of piercing damage. And the two of you, Stormclimb and Drachdarin, you just see as Ender gets hit by a bolt and collapses to the ground, unconscious.
Uh-oh.
So that's that guy's turn. The next one, seeing as he took one of them down, says, "Haha, told ya! Come on, you big ugly bastard." And he's gonna run over at you, Drachdarin, and gonna try and strike at you as well. He puts down his crossbow, pulls out the scimitar, and is gonna try and strike at you. Because he is flanking you, he has advantage on this attack. Actually, no. He has a +2 on this attack. But he still misses. As it comes up you, And you notice him come and you put up your arm to block his scimitar, shielding it from slashing at you. And he just looks up at you and says, "Okay, we need help here, Glenn." And that's all he does. Ender, you are unconscious. Go ahead and make a death saving throw.
How do I do that?
In the middle of your character sheet, there should be the death saves. 3 successes, 3 failures. Just click the name death saves. It will make a saving throw for you. A 2. That is a failure.
Oh no.
However, you can choose to spend a hit dice to reroll that.
Okay, what's the... I don't know what happens now. What's the consequence of the success or failure of the death save?
Okay, so here how death savings work. If you fail 3 death saving throws, your character dies. If you succeed 3, your character stabilizes and you stop making death saving throws. If you roll, if every time you have to roll d20, if you roll below a 10, so 1 to 9, that's a failure. If you roll above if you roll above a 10, that's a success.
It's 1 roll per turn, or keep rolling this turn till I get 3 failures or 3 successes?
1 roll per turn. Every time it comes to your turn, at the beginning of your turn, you make a death saving throw, which you just failed year 1. So everyone will have a turn before it comes back to you, and then you get a chance to do another one. But like I said, you can use hit dice to reroll that if you want.
I'm gonna spend the hit dice.
Alright?
Thank you.
Oh no.
Extremely helpful.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and mark 1 failure in your character sheet. Just click the little circles in the failures. So that's 1. Hopefully you don't die.
Level 1.
Stormclimb. You see Ender falling on the ground. And by the way, you have the movement from your previous turn that you didn't spend.
Yeah, thanks. I actually forgot to do that. I was so caught up with him being a badass.
It's okay.
So what I want to do is I want to run up to Ander. So if I does using an item count as a full action, or is that a bonus?
Yes, using an item is a are you talking about the healing potion or something?
Yeah, if I try to grab a healing potion off of Ander and use it on him, does that require an action or
Yes,
a bonus?
that is your whole action to do that.
Okay, well, let's see.
Using the 10 feet movement from your previous turn with this turn, you can just get to him and use a potion on him to get him back up, if you would like to do that.
Okay, so yeah, Drax's going to be fine. So I'm going to grab the potion off of Ander and feed it into his mouth. That's my whole action.
Okay, so you run up to Ender, you rummage through his person, picking up this bottle of potion and bringing it up to his unconscious head, and uncorking the potion and dropping all of its contents down his throat. And Ender, you feel this magic starting to flow through you and heal your wounds, especially this bolt that is sticking out of your shoulder. So you heal 2d4 plus 2, which you can roll, or I can roll if you would like.
Can roll for me.
Okay, so you heal 2d4 plus 2, that's a total, that roll, sorry.
I don't know if I've seen 1-1 in a while.
Can we count that as a critical?
Critical fail.
Regardless, you heal 4 hit points and you're no longer unconscious. But you were
Now is
blooded.
not the time.
Thank you, little one. And I hug Stormclimb.
I guess I climb on. Oh wait, never mind.
He Because you fell unconscious, you are considered to be prone, so you are down on the ground currently.
Okay.
But that's okay. So that was your action, Stormclimb. You have a bonus action, but I don't know that you have anything you can do with it.
Yeah, that's why I asked about the items, because, like, I don't really have any abilities to use as a bonus action right now, and I can't throw a spear as a bonus action, so, I guess that ends.
Yep, that's your turn. So, Drachdarin, you see the rat running up to Ender and helping him up with a potion, and you just see some life returning to the tiger. And there's 2 guys flanking you. What are you doing?
Well, I'm very frustrated with the scenario, and we're going to use something to even the play. I'm going to move just a little bit to my left, line 2 of these guys up, and unleash my lightning breath weapon upon both.
Oh my goodness, we finally get to see that in action.
So
Dr.
they both need
Arcanical.
to. They both need to make a dexterity save equal to 8 plus 3 plus 2, so equal to 13 or higher.
Alright. So, what is the damage of your breath weapon again?
Oh, that's not even in my attacks. What happened? Why didn't I do this correctly? It is a on fail they take 2d6 and half as much on a success.
Lightning damage. There you go.
2d6 lightning damage, yeah.
Yep, so the 2 of you, Ender and Stormclimb, as you come back to consciousness, as Stormclimb downs a healing potion down your throat, the 2 of you just look to the side to see Drachdarin step to the side a little bit, channel in his inner draconic heritage, and you see just sparks of electricity just coiling around him and then coalescing on his mouth as he releases this breath of sheer pure electric energy that just blasts out of him in a line going down into the woods and hitting 2 of those robbers who does not see it coming at all. They failed their saving throws, so you can roll for damage.
9.
All right.
Nice.
So the guy that is right in front of you, he not only does he not sees it coming, but it takes him fully and completely by surprise, and he's very shocked by that.
Boom.
The puddings.
And you just see his skin starting to darken and crackle, and it just collapses on the ground. This smoking pile of a man who was there before but now is dead. And the other one behind him seems to. Whoa, that guy was in a hurry.
Wow.
This other guy behind him just barely managed to hold up his arms, and he also gets the blunt of this shock, but he seems to be of a hardier constitution than his fellow, and he is doing very poorly. He is bloodied.
And Drachdarin kind of wipes his mouth off and goes, I did tell you, didn't I? I warned them, didn't I? That this was going to turn out bad.
And the owl on the owl on top of your head says, "Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Bandits killing bandits! This is so fun! This is new! I've never seen this before. Finn didn't tell me that bandits kill their own selves. This is fun! This is fun!"
Bandits!
And he just keeps on jumping on top of your horns as you also see some electricity crackling around the owl. That his feathers kind of have poofed out. And the other 2 bandits, the one that just got shocked, he looks at you and says, Who the fuck are you guys? And he keeps wheezing and just turns around and starts to run the opposite direction, absconding into the woods. and he
Yeah,
vanishes.
you better run.
And the other guy that was right in front of you, he just looks at you and says, "Oh, fuck." Yeah, and he kind of doesn't even knows what to say. He just turns around and starts to run as well. And as he's running away, you get to do an attack of opportunity if you would like, Drek.
I absolutely would like.
Sure. Oh no!
Oh, yes.
Wow.
So, as this guy starts running away, you just turn to him, blood in your eyes, almost murderous intent. So tell me how you kill this runaway bandit.
As he's turning to run, I'm going to pull my great axe back behind my head and just literally fling it full on claymore throw right into his spine.
Nice.
Oh,
All right. So this guy manages to walk just a few steps into the woods before you just hear this very loud and meaty chunk noise as the axe engraves itself into his spine. Blood splattering across the trees as well, and then you just hear this even louder thunk as his body just collapses to the ground, crumpled in a pile, starts bleeding in the ground around these trees. The body not even moving. He instantly died as soon as that axe hit. So, party. Once again, the sounds dwindle. Everything goes quiet, except for the owl that is on top of your head, Drac. It's still kind of hopping up and down and saying, "Ooh, look at this! One ran away. Are you gonna chase him? One ran away. One ran away."
No, no need to chase.
oh my god,
Are you
I'm
okay?
now. I can't bear that owl screaming in my ears anymore. I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, good. And Drak walks over slowly, kind of cracking his neck a bit, and just, I did tell you that it was going to be bad. And he's just yanking his axe unceremoniously out of the back of the one that he killed, foot on the back, just ripping it out.
Hey Stormclimb, thank you very much for healing me back to life. And I guess it's loot time. What can we get here?
Let's loot the bodies.
Loot the bodies!
And the
So, I just, let's see. The main thing that I'm going to be mostly looking for is to see if they've got any, like, potions or herbs that I can add to my herbalism kit.
make an investigation check, Stormclimb.
Actually,
everyone everyone that is looting can make an investigation check.
Okay. Let's see. How about instead, could I use a perception check using my nose to sniff things out?
No.
Nah, it's okay. Never mind. I'll
It's
just go.
investigation.
Yeah, not so great. 11.
So, Drek, you're still mostly all of the guys that you go over to their either crumpled pile of bloody mess, and there's not even much you can recover without completely plunging your claws into this bloody mess. And your job is still not done, and you think back to yourself, maybe I shouldn't throw myself in their guts right away.
Maybe they could have something more interesting on the inside.
Stormclimb, as you also look around all of these guys, they don't really seem to have anything in the way of herbs or anything medicinal that you can take. Except that when you go over to one of those guys, the ones who were actually digging the grave and had shovels and daggers. They one of them happens to have a healer's kit.
Oh, got it. Taken.
Score.
And also going from body to body through the coin pouches that they have on them. You guys managed to scrounge up 150 silver pieces.
Nice.
Yay. Wait, each of us got 150, or we split it?
That's total between the three of the guys. The five of the guys. The four. One no ran away. So that would be 50 silver pieces for each one of you.
Heck yes. Money, something I have not a lot of.
I could always use a little bit more coin. Thankfully, I haven't reached that encumbered state yet, where I cannot completely move.
Yeah, it will take some time before it gets to that. So looting these bodies, you find that, but a ways behind them, you also find the little hole they had dug in the ground, or were in the process of digging, or almost finished digging. Whereupon you do find, by looking a little bit deeper into it, you do find that little box with what's it called? A little box that apparently is the treasure that the dragon Galtazad was looking for.
Sorry, what'd you say, Doug? You're kind of cutting in and out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me approach.
Found that.
Let me approach my microphone. So you find in the hole that these bandits have dug in the ground. You find a box, which is the box that the dragon Galtazan had asked you guys to go and retrieve.
Who found that? I just don't know who went to the hole. Everyone?
Yeah. At this point, all three of you just go to the hole, and in there
Sure.
you see the box.
Okay. Hey guys, guess that's what we're looking for. I guess. Does this all know something about it? Can you confirm that's it?
Yes, Bird, could you actually be useful for once and tell us if this is what we are looking for?
The bird just looks and shakes its head and says, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't steal. I'm not a bandit. You're the ones.
Oh, useless bird. Okay, thank you.
The Dragonborn just picks up the box in one hand and puts his great axe over his shoulder in the other and turns to start walking back to town.
Stormclimb, do you want to ride on our way back?
Yes, please.
So pick up Stormclimb, you put it on his shoulders, and I follow.
All right.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
I was my internet cut on the loot part. Did we split the money equally?
Yes, it's 50 silver pieces for each one of you.
Okay, thank you.
And they had one healer's kit as well.
Yeah, I got the healer's kit, and that's it.
So you
I forgot to delete the healing potion. That's okay. That's done.
You already used it. Instead of deleting it from your character sheet, you can just mark that you have 0 of those. That also works. Up to you, really. But anyway,
Okay.
the three of you and the owl start making your way back to the city, leaving behind a bloody mess of corpses in the sacred grove. And, well, knowing that you have accomplished something today, you're not entirely sure of what yet, but you have. And you start making your way back to town now, getting a little bit more familiar with your surroundings after so much back and forth. So I take it you guys are going straight to the wizard's tower, right?
Straight back. Let's get this to the dragon. I
Yep.
am covered in blood still. It's a good look.
Yepperoni, and I'm pretty sure I'm covered in blood too, but I guess it just mixes in with the pink on my armor, so it's not like you could really tell.
Yeah, it's
Just gives it a nice gradient.
it's pretty much Dragonborn with blood effects turned up to the maximum. That's what you guys look like walking down the main thoroughfare of redemption. And as you go to the wizard's tower, you get inside. The owl, as soon as you enter the door, the owl unlatches from your horns, Drac, and starts flying around before finding purchase again on the chair where it was, and it just keeps looking at you guys very intently as you climb up the stairs to the other room where there was a dragon. Ah, you are back. Did you bring me my treasure?
And the Dragonborn kind of holds up the box and then slides it along the floor towards him.
Sure.
Oh dang, we never even checked.
Still speaking in Draconic, it says, "Ah, finally. Let me see here." And he starts walking in on all fours towards the box. Even though he's a wormling of a dragon, his size is still very imposing. This big, bulky creature the size of a horse but with wings, shiny, is very still awe-inspiring to see a dragon in the flesh. And he walks over to the box, and he using his front paws, he opens it. And on the inside, you can see, if you care to kind of peek over, on the inside you do see, as he pulls out a dagger that is indeed very fine. The handle of the dagger is fully encrusted in all sorts of gems that shine very brightly, and you can see that not only it's encrusted with gems all over the place, but there's also some inscriptions along the side of the handle and the blade itself, and just from a glance you can tell that this dagger, if it is indeed magical, is quite a relic. And he picks up the dagger in his paws and looks it over, turning it around, and then looks back into the box, where you can see the box seems to be an ossuary, and you see bones on the inside that you did hear some rattling as you were coming back into the city, but you never imagined there was going to be a full skeleton inside of this little box. And he kind of just turns the box over, and the bones, the skull, kind of just roll into the floor, and he says, "Ah, Finn will be very happy. Now we can add Slim Gwyn to the collection."
Are you the one who's coming up with the damn names?
Of course. Do you think Finn is that smart when it comes to comedy? I'm the one who suggested it.
Well, they're very good. They're very good names. And keep it up. Do I recognize any of the writing on the dagger? Do I know what it is at all?
The
Is it written in
dagger.
a language I can understand.
You can see that there's an inscription on the dagger, but as it stands, you're kind of too far away from it to actually be able to see. You would need to really walk to him and pick up the dagger and examine it to see.
Probably best to not. We've upheld our end of the bargain. Could we perhaps get that diamond dust now and be on our way?
He looks at you and says, "Very well. I suppose that you could." And he turns around, walks to another end of the room, and he kind of pulls open one of the desk drawers where, even from this distance, you can see there's many component pouches arranged by color and by size, and it's a very organized collection. And he seems to go a little bit deeper into the drawer and pull out a bag. And he walks up to you, and puts it in your hand, and you can feel this kind of semi-hefty bag. It feels like it's filled with sand, but you get that that's the fuel that diamond dust would have.
Excellent. I appreciate you being so amicable, more so than the owl there. We will go see to Finn and help him with the malady that has overcome him.
Well, alright. You should visit more often. You are very entertaining guests to have.
We will have to think about it. I don't know what our future holds. But thank you for the invitation. And he will turn to the rest of the group and say, "Got the dust, shall we?"
Yes, let's.
And right back down those stairs.
So all three of you now leave the tower, and the owl just keeps perched at the chair, just looking at you go, and says, "Oh, look at you taking more of our stuff. Look at you taking our stuff. I will tell Finn. I will tell him so badly that you guys are robbers."
Yes, you can tell him all about how we took something to actually save his life. Thank you. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for being so useful. Really love having you around, Carl.
You're welcome. Feel free to take me with you anytime. But then again, if you take me, that will be kidnapping, which is just as bad.
I wish.
I whisper to the group, "Gods, no!"
Don't worry, we're not taking the stupid bird with us.
So finally, you guys make your way back to the church, where previously had left behind a distressed human woman and a feral-looking furbolg, and the tiefling priest who was tending to them. So, as you arrive in the church, party, Unlucky Clover, you walk up to them, and the priest is still taking care of Finn, who by now seems to have calmed down. He's sitting on a bench, and the human woman, seems to just be talking to him, going like, "It's gonna be everything all right. Don't you worry. Everything will be sorted." Look, they're back.
As the Dragonborn just slams the doors open again.
How
Covered
heavy is
in
that, Josh?
blood, drenched with blood, slamming doors to a church open, not a very good look.
The white tiger, now pink tiger.
Oh, right. God, is that going to be your thing now? You just like kick open all doors?
I mean, it's not a very heavy door. It's just... I'm a bit rough around the edges, okay? I've still got the adrenaline going through me. It's, really hyped up. I cut the guy in half, okay?
Oh, sorry, I was asking out of character, but yeah. Okay.
It could be. He's a brute. I mean...
It works. It works. Certainly works for that strength modifier you have. Anyway, as you guys come into the church, the priest, he just looks at you and says, "Well, that took you much longer than I anticipated. Have you found the material components for the ritual?"
And he just holds up the bag and offers it to him. Sorry if I get a little blood on it. We kind of got in a bit of a spat out of the town in the process of doing this. Nothing to worry about, though. We handled it.
The
The tower is definitely in one shape. It's all right in the tower.
The priest kind of just smiles and nods a little bit. "Well, this is a church dedicated to the goddess of hunts and hunters, and I have seen hunters coming here in much worse state than you are right now, son. Don't worry. Anyway, come here, my dear child. Let me see if I can help you, and then you can help me as well. And he picks up some of these diamond dust and starts getting... making some sort of arcane divine incantation, reciting some power words as he opens up the bag of diamond dust and holds up a pinch of it towards the human woman. He picks this diamond dust, puts it on top of her head, holding it in there and saying a prayer. As he starts to do this, you see Finn kind of just jostles a little bit on his bench, trying to be defensive again. And the human, she just holds her hand like, it's alright, it's alright. And the priest starts channeling some positive energy into her. And you see as the human suddenly shines and glows with... a burst of positive energy of good that is just healing and taking away whatever curse or malady she had that had taken over her mind and her memories. And you just see as she opened her eyes and her pupils flash white for a moment, and then this look of realization comes to her mind and she just looks around, wide-eyed, just like, oh, I remember now. She just looks at all of you, her jaw open, as she's just taking things in, remembering as this flood of memories come rushing through her. Like, oh, okay, all right. And the priest, he looks at her and says, are you better now, my child? And she just nods. Oh, you have no idea how good I am doing now. Thank you very much. And she smiles widely. Now, at all four of you, at the priest and the three of you, she smiles and says, oh, everything's much better now. Thank you so very much. And the priest, he picks up some pinch of diamond dust, the remainder in the bag, does the same thing, puts it on top of the Furbolg's head, and starts conjuring up again another incantation, reciting more power words to concentrate all this positive energy into him, to also free his mind of whatever had clouded him. And you guys just watch this. And just as you're watching this whole thing go down, you see the Furbolg as well, glowing with energy, his eyes flashing white. And suddenly, the same look of realization comes to his mind. And all three of you look at him. And then he just says, wait, no! And he puts up his hand towards the human, who very sneakily had held up the box with the book that you guys had seen before. Bless you. That you guys had seen before, and she just says, "Well, I have all I need now, so I'll be seeing you later." And she produces an incantation, says some words, and just disappears in midair.
Ah, darn.
Wizards.
And
I hate wizards.
The Furbolg, he kind of just jumps up from the chair, kind of holding up his hand at her, and say, "Ah, damn you! Ah, Faye, you sneaky little." And then he looks at the three of you and says, "Ah, you. Sorry." He seems to take a moment to recompose himself, standing tall and proud now, and he just... Okay, that's a setback. Certainly not a good one. You're the three I invited to come over. Andrew, Drachdarin, Stormclimb. Well, I'm very sorry. My discovery had taken a very unexpected turn to the unpredictable. And he kind of just points off into the distance where the human Fae was just a moment ago. She was my apprentice, and she betrayed me. We had found a book of Arcanum, the Tome of Arcanum. It had many clues to many things, especially the things the three of you were looking into, and it's gone now. Damn it! And he slams the bench that he was sitting on, just looking around, very frustrated and annoyed at himself, at you guys. Well, not annoyed at you guys, but annoyed that he couldn't help you guys. And he just looks very frustrated, kind of sighing and shaking his head.
She was your apprentice. Why would she have reason to betray you?
If I knew that, I would have taken some precaution before, but those humans, can't trust them, it would seem. But anyway, at this point, the priest is just looking very concerned at all of you. By the way, she has disappeared. She is no longer on the map. He looks very concerned at all four of you and says, "So, my children, is everything all right?" And
Well, besides some of us being a little roughed up,
Yeah. I guess we can say it's all right.
we didn't
That
die.
depends. What was found? What did you find for me? Was there actually a lead?
he the guy.
Oh, and I'm saying this to Fearbog.
Come again?
I'm saying this to Fearbog. Sorry, I forgot to announce who I was talking to.
It's okay. Before you go and do that, or rather, as you are doing that, the priest just looks at the two of you and says, "Oh, my children, you're looking. Let me tend your wounds." And he goes, walks up to the two of you, Ender and Drachdarin, and he casts a spell on you. He puts his hand on top of you, and you can see that he has very long nails that look almost like claws. They are thicker even than nails would be, and as he puts his hands on you, you can feel this very firm grasp, his claws kind of sinking a little bit into your skin as he grasps you. But for how almost aggressive this grasp is, you feel this very relaxing, positive energy flowing through his arm and then through his hand and into you as he casts a healing spell. And the two of you recover 8 hit points, Drachdarin and Ender, so you're at maximum hit points now.
Most appreciated.
Thank you, priest. I really need that.
He nods and says, "Well, you have done us a good deed, and good deeds should not go unrewarded." Meanwhile, the Furbog, he's just shaking his head and sighing. He looks at you, Stormclimb, and says, "Oh, if only I knew what Never mind. We found this book, this Tome of Arcanum. It holds secrets to many things. Divinations for the future and from the past. Things hidden throughout history, and it's a book of answers. And it had answers to many things, and I heard of your pleas. You have been going around the city looking for something. I had something I wanted to ask the three of you to do in exchange for this information, but I'm sorry, I don't have this information to give anymore.
That's alright. Maybe you'll be able to remember later. In the meantime, I suppose I will continue finding this person. Called Adventure!
Yeah, tell you what, Finn, I was very skeptical that anyone could have the information that you proclaim to have. I'm fine with it. I'm doing okay without knowing my past, and I guess I'll still be after all this.
I am still tremendously interested in what you claim to have found in regards to what I seek. However, if there is some way perhaps that we could create, call it a partnership perhaps, you inform me, I help you, that sort of thing, let me know.
He looks at you. Once again, he crosses his hands, and you see his demeanor change from this defeated man who just got betrayed, emotionally stabbed, and he changes his demeanor completely to that of a welcoming salesperson who's most pleased to see all of you. He even smiles as he says, "Well, the tome still exists, and therefore we can recover it once I learn more of where my apprentice has gone to and what she intends to do with it. But for the meanwhile, I have other smaller endeavors I could ask your assistance with. Oh, of course, in exchange for some rewards. I wouldn't expect you to work for free. And don't worry, if we ever recover this book that holds the answer to the things I promised I would give you, I will let you know, and we will resume that initial proposition, if that is alright with the whole lot of you."
Well,
Yes,
I don't
I
know, guys. That was not what I was expecting when I came on my adventure. I expected it to be so much more calmer and learn about people, and I almost got myself left in a forest. I never expect that. But on the other side, that this adventure made me meet so much people. I got so much notes on my notebook that I wasn't able to get while just roaming around town. So I guess I'll give it a shot. I'll stick around for longer if that's okay with all of you.
I think that will be very beneficial. We seem to work fairly well together. We are all seemingly fairly skilled fighters, so we should be able to handle ourselves, yes?
I very much agree. The three of us, we are quite unstoppable. And then I just take out my rapier once again and just point up and just say, "All for one!"
And Drachdarin just kind of looks down at him like, I don't know what you're doing, but I agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I guess. It was funny having the little one on my shoulder all this time. So, adventure, I guess.
So, the three of you broker a partnership of sorts with this wizard who you didn't have the best first impression with because he was a bumbling fool when you first met him, but seems to be a very powerful wizard to have not only his own tower and an apprentice who seemed capable of powerful magic, but also discovered, or rather houses, a dragon within his tower. And also this priest who seems to be capable and powerful enough to heal even such strong and powerful curses and maladies. And with this new friendship, or rather this new agreement you brokered between yourselves, between them, and also between yourselves to remain as a group and adventure together, seeking whatever it is that adventurers do, you decide that maybe the three of you can accomplish much more if you stick together and if you trust on one another. And that, everyone, is where we're gonna end today's session.
Yay! Good job, everybody.
We didn't die at level 1. Yay!
You did not?
I actually almost died level.
You almost died.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we made so many bad rolls. I'm surprised we didn't just die when we walked inside that tower.
I'm surprised we actually
so
got
happy.
to the first combat. We almost didn't make it there.
I am so happy that I picked Dragonborn because, not really being able to communicate with a dragon. That's terrifying.
Yeah,
You're level 1. Fight a dragon. Sure, why not?
Yeah, not sure if we would actually been able to make out of there alive, or at the very
Absolutely
least,
not.
not somebody dying.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. And also, on top of everything, also you did a lot of stuff. So, congratulations, you guys level up.
Level 2!
Yeah.
Thank God.
Excelsior!
So, refer to the... Well, you will have a lot of time from now on to refer to the player's handbook, to D&D Beyond, to Roll20, to whatever resource you want to use to find out what skills you get at next level. So, Ender, you will be getting the Flurry of Blows, which is an amazing monk skill. Drachdarin will be getting Action Surge, I believe, or Second Wind, or you will have a use for your bonus action finally. And Stormclimb will get spells, so that's fun.
Woo! Can finally cast the magics.
Yeah.
Yes, I get my action surge. I already have Second Wind at level 1.
Oh yeah, but you never get hit because you have a ridiculously high AC.
Yeah, I'm not worried yet.
Well,
Yeah, that's okay. You get access to key abilities.
yeah. Also, when you guys level up, you increase your hit points. So the way we're gonna be doing hit points is that you can either roll or pick average. So
Rolls are not very good today.
yeah.
I think I'll roll with my actual dice and not digital things that have been betraying us all day.
Yeah.
I should give that a try too.
All of you guys have a hit die, so it should be a D8 for Ender and a D10 for both Drach and Stormclimb. You're gonna roll that dice, add in your Constitution modifier, and that becomes your new maximum hit points for level 2. But if you need help, I'll be talking you guys through that later at one-on-one and explaining everything that you guys get when you go into sorry, when you go into level 2. So first and foremost,
I'll need help and I'll talk to you later.
sure thing. I will.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later too.
Yeah, I'll be happy to explain. So first and foremost, thank you, the people over on Twitch for being around and watching the stream and these 3 adventurers surviving level 1. Sorry.
Hey, people on Twitch,
Hi, Twitch.
shout out.
Extremely
No, I'm not talking to you, Google.
extremely sorry I could not keep a close eye on the conversation on Twitch because DMing takes my full concentration. So if I didn't answer a message you posted on Twitch, I'm really sorry, but kind of hard to juggle that many things at once. But I'm very thankful that you guys have stopped by to watch this game. I will be posting this as a video on demand on YouTube later today, if not tomorrow. And there's also a wiki about my homebrew world of Gundr that you can go and check out if you would like. There is not much to be seen there, but it exists. And like if there's some lore detail that you missed or you're just curious to see what a custom wiki looks like, so drop on over on one of those links I dropped in, where you guys can see some things. And that's it. Thank you guys so very much for watching, Twitch people. I'll be seeing you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.